I look and see it's not just me.
Jack, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes! I look and see it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where I stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. Living wild. Yeah!
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah!
Yeah!
もっと暖かくなるエアコンに変えてください。
細長だから快適ゾーン4倍。
What's your next desire?
すぐ暖かくなるエアコンがいい。
細長だからファジー速暖。静かでパワフル。日立の
Big Flow.
暮らし刺激人。
日立。
What do we got? Super Dave, Pro Wrestle Clips. Tony Khan has Camille and Megan Bain sitting at home being paid since 2023 for nothing. Come on now. It's not going to be the pod calling some kettle black on that one. Truth is the truth. Vaquer was more over than Monet. Yes. I'm sorry. I'm reading slow. Vaquer was more over than Monet and is going to the big times. Absolutely. And I said that. I think I covered that show. In fact, I know we did. And I pointed out, I'm going to go back and listen to my own comments. But I did make a mental note, and I think I did point out that I thought she looked really good because I had never seen her before. And now that you pointed out, I don't want to say she looked better than Mercedes, but I think the expectation was a little higher for Mercedes, obviously. And perhaps Stephanie exceeded hers and perhaps Mercedes didn't. That's my take on it.
Well, folks, it's been a night to remember, but right now we are out of time. I'm Nick Diamond.
I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And I'm Johnny Gomez. On behalf of all of us here at Celebrity Deathmatch, good fight, good night.
It's time for Jim Cornette's Strike Through, sponsored by Stephen P. New. Send an email to our crew, buy a cameo or two. It's Jim Cornette's Strike Through. Come and pull up to the window and we'll open up the screen. Watch his corny cuts of promo on that bitch at Dairy Queen. Hear a tale of Smoky Mountain and some stories from the South.
Then make like Vince McMahon and shove a sandwich in your mouth.
It's Jim Cornette's podcast. Taking questions you will ask. Talking wrestling from the past with his co-host Brian Last. It's Jim Cornette's podcast. Come see Nero, Kevin Pockets, Dino, Douche, and Chuckle Fuck. Felix, Reho, Baldwin, Buck, and Harpo Finger Fuck. And then there's endless twerking from good old Sunny Gifts.
And then there's Maki Ito, she's the god of love and piss.
It's Jim Cornette straight through, knocking AEW. The Observer thinks it's fine, Uncle Davis lost his mind. We used to be on Monday, now we're not on Monday.
King Kong Monday.
Jim Cornette straight through, thank you.
Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday comes again.
毎日
Sunday,
毎
Monday,
日
Tuesday,
日
Wednesday,
立の細長
Thursday,
は
Thursday,
静
Friday,
か
Saturday,
サラサラ
Sunday comes again.
きれいな空気体には細長が気持ちいいんです日立のビッグフローウェルネス
Meltzer says I'm in the key demo. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another eclectic edition of PWT Live Show. Can I get a yay? How you guys doing? 85 of you in here already. Make sure you hit the chat. I hope you enjoy the pre-show there. Shout out everybody who makes it into the pre-show. And shout out everybody in the chat as we file in. Right. I'm anxious. Today. Stephanie Vaquer had a debut. Raw went down. We have Dynamite on tonight. That's like, okay. But Bobby Lashley might debut. There is some rumors floating around. We're going to review all that. We're going to talk about things involved in pro wrestling. We got Dave Meltzer. We got some sickos. We got our dirt sheet fools. All the good stuff you guys like and enjoy. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. We're at, what are we at now? 1,460 or my number. You what? I completely watched that. Oh my goodness. I'll tell you what we're at. We're at like 4,650 subs or something. I don't know, but you guys are the best. I completely watched. And then on the other channel, we're at like 1,300 and 400 and some or something like that. Roughly around those areas. Sorry, I don't have it to a T, but thank you all so much for subscribing. And if you aren't, make sure you subscribe. Make sure you leave a comment. Consider becoming a member for only 99 cents. You get the green thing on your name. You get the badges. And also, you'll be getting more shows. Now, I keep telling you guys, I'm going to do member shows. I'm going to explain something to you guys. I have an announcement. I have some breaking hot news of my own, of personal Phil Marks news that Mrs. Marks is like, okay, tell them, So I'm going to tell you guys in just a moment. So make sure you're tuned in. But consider becoming a member, support the channel, and yeah, you're going to get a lot more. I'm going to start going live like every day, even if it's for like 30 minutes. I know I've been talking that shit, but there's a reason I've been talking that shit. I'm going to tell you all why, but it's actually like, okay, it's for sure what's happening. So you guys are going to know in just a minute. Something crazy I'm about to announce. But yeah, let's get those likes up to 100 and consider becoming a member because for Survivor Series, George Capture, mod extraordinaire with a wrench. You guys see him. Great guy. Never met him. Shout out Brennan Schaub. Conan, but George Capture right here putting out a Conan with the wrench. He is teaming up with PWT to do a big-ass giveaway. We're giving away like a PlayStation 5 and a controller and all that stuff, So you have to be a member, though, to win. That's the key thing. So that was George's idea, not mine. So, yeah, make sure 99 cents, you become a member, and the cutoff's November 2 as well. So if you guys are a member like November 3 or 4 or something like that, as Brendan Schaub would say, done count, B. Done count. You're not in the fucking draw, okay? I'm just cussing already 13 minutes in. And I've only been on the air for like 3 minutes. But yeah, November 2 is like the cutoff. November 2nd. I can't remember why we picked that date. Is that Crown Jewel? Is that why? I think whatever day Crown Jewel is. So sorry if I just botched, but that will be the cutoff day. On that live stream, we'll go, okay, here's the cutoff day. And then that's the day I'm going to make a list of the names who can be entered. And then I guess we'll pick randomly. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and if you're a member of the channel and you're like a tribal chief, you get extra entries. And if you're a middle tier, whatever the fuck, I call it a superstar or something dumb, you get extra entries as well. Not as much as the tribal chief, though. So I hope that all makes sense. I know a lot of people are, you know, hey, listen, it pays to be a PWT listener, you know, and I like to do stuff for you guys too, because you always show up and show for me. And George approached me with this, and I was like, fuck yeah, let's do it. So round of applause for George, everybody. And yeah, consider becoming a member. Now, my big announcement, everyone's like, oh, is Phil getting married? No, Phil has a mini Phil Marks coming in any day now, and I've kept it secret this whole time. Yeah. So yeah, there's a mini Marks coming into this world, and it's going to be beautiful, and that will be any day. So honestly, I know my birthday is also in 3 days. The little fucker might steal my shine and take my birthday from me. No, but if he's born on my birthday, like, I don't know if I'm going to live stream that day. Like I've been telling you guys, birthday bash. And yeah, that's why I've been a little loosey-goosey. But I told y'all, yo, I'm just like kind of home chilling, because that's, you know, I'm just going to chill with the bebe while he's in the world I work really hard. It's like, take some time and focus on the channel and the home life more and all that. So yeah, I'm just going to stream like every day whenever I got 30 minutes, an hour. Baby's napping, you know what I mean? I'll hop on, check in with you guys. And yeah, welcome to the show. Round of applause, me. I'm the main character. Thank you guys. Yeah, it's like the best birthday gift ever, huh? So I appreciate it. I appreciate all you guys as more and more of you file in, hopefully. And yeah, it's going to be great. As Tony Khan would say, this is great. Great things happening. Where is it? I don't even. Here we go. Okay, you guys hear that? StreamYard's being a B word. Mazel tov. Thank you. Yeah. Get used to it. They'll need priority. Yeah, exactly. You know, and it's like, this is what I want to do. And I don't know. If I could definitely do more of this and just hang out with the kid and stuff, you know, that'd be amazing. So thank you guys so much, man. Chat, you guys are uncanny. But that's not why you're here. You guys don't care about that stuff. Maybe you do a little bit, but I know we're here to talk graps, okay? And giveaways as well. So I'm giving back to you motherfuckers right now, okay? And so is George. So make sure you show him some love. And that will come in November, though. So just early kind of preview. Ooh, get the word out there, become a member. You know what I mean? And yeah, shout me out. I did the damn thing. So let's get to, I want to check in with chat. I see a lot of congrats and all of that stuff. Yeah, so I got some super chats here. Wow, plenty in pixel art for $20 off the
best guys, Tony Khan.
Amazing. The worst part about actually being around when Phil goes live is clicking the notification and immediately seeing bye 2J. Oh, come on now, Plenty, and that's not very fair. I have access to the numbers, and actually I can see that Jericho's actually a draw in this business, Eric. No, but for real, I don't know. The song goes on and the numbers go up. What can I say? So, and this is when they might go down. If I were to play Jericho just solo acapella raw dog, whenever Jericho raw dogs us, it's not a good thing. Pause. No Diddy. Plenty, and thank you so much for being here again. And didn't you give me like $200 and you're like, dude, I'm not going to be here. And then you've been here every show. So chat, everyone show Plenty and some love as well. You ain't hyped for $2 says, congrats on the little one, bruv. Yeah. Thank you, man. It's going to be exciting, you know, and you might come literally on I might share my birthday with my kid. One of those people. That's weird. You know, that's some shit in like a movie. You're like, that's not real. It doesn't really happen. It's happening to me. Oh man, thank you so much. Sorry, I've been on the Fighter and the Kids subreddit a lot too, so I'm dropping a lot of Shawbisms right now. If you guys don't know, Jonesy84 became a YouTube member, and I swear you're already one. So that must be to the other channel too, or so. We got 2 channels you can be a member of. All members, by the way, if you're a member of PWT, like the other channel that only has like 1,000 subs, you're also entered in this. Don't worry. It's all connected. All the benefits of each channel is the same, is how it works over here. But thank you so much, Jonesy, for becoming a member once again. Congrats. Thank you all. Yes. Yeah, amazing. It's going to be great. It'll be great. So let's dive in, though. I know why you guys are really here. You don't care about mini marks. You don't care about fucking me. None of that. You guys came for the graps. You sickos. You guys came for the action. And so we dive into Phil Marks, bookmarks. So, oh, no worries. Is it because you leveled up? Yeah, whatever. It doesn't matter. Pete in Texas, congratulations, dude. Yeah, thank you so much, man.
Emotional damage.
You guys are so sweet. I appreciate you so much. Yeah, you know, but just expect more of me for real, and member shows too. So you're getting member shows. I fucking promise. You know what I mean? But I was like, I don't know. When's the kid going to be here? This week? Next week? He's really big in there. You know, I'm a big cat. So I'm like, you know, he's big in there. Is, you know, when's it going to be? So I didn't know. That's why I was like, I think this week I'll be going live every day. Because like, as soon as he's home chilling, and it's a boy. Yeah. As soon as he's home chilling, I'll yeah. And we didn't do no gender reveal party either. Don't worry. We didn't cringe anyone out. I didn't hire 2 midget luchadors to do a fucking one wearing blue, one wearing pink, and you know what I'm saying? Anyways, let's dive into some hot news. I need some here. We'll just hit the breaking. We'll just hit the breaking news. Actually, here, I got another super. Thank you so much. You guys are insane. The first diaper purchase is on. Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I need to start stocking up on those. As well, you know, I got everything ready. Besides, yeah, I'm just like, okay, the last minute diapies and that, I'll just cop them the day before. I don't know. We're gonna. Thank you so much, George Capture. You're the best. Appreciate you so much. So I'll play you guys the breaking news. I had a real bad like giving birth joke. I'm just not going to do because I love my woman too much there. But miscellaneous about breaking, and yeah, you guys don't want to know. It's gross. Anyways, holy shit! Watch this spot. So this was from. I just want to bring this to the show because it was really cute. Here we go. I don't know this guy's name. I'm so sorry. This is on GCW Art of War, and he hits this on Dijak. Now I'm going to start this show by talking shit. I guess. Notice how nothing accurate and nothing is really being leaked about WWE right now since Dijak's been gone. That's been pointed out on X, and I don't mean to be that guy because I do like him. You know, I'm not a hater. I really love what him and Eddie Thorpe were doing. You know, what him and Keith Lee did, obviously, was like insane in NXT. But notice that, guys, not a lot of shit like the whole is AJ injured or not. Everyone was just guessing on that one, more or less, right? So people have said that. Like, notice Dijak's gone and there's less things being stooged. Moose Knuckle, don't let him wear the Vince Docker. He'll never want to wear diapers. Moose Knuckle, you stay the fuck away from my family. Goddamn. No, I'm just kidding. I love you, buddy. Here we go.
Like in Rochester. Whoa.
Oh, it's Gringo Loco. Why did I think it was Dijak? There you go, guys. I've been watching indie shit. I saw Dijak doing some indie shit in front of a hotel, too. So, yeah, it's on Gringo Loco. Sorry. Don't know why I brought Dijak up just to bury him. Sorry. I'm sorry, Dijak.
And stuff.
Yeah, so I don't know. That was crazy. Do you guys like that, or is that too much? I think that's a cool like double spot or double ring spot.
In Rochester.
Boom, boom.
Whoa.
You know, once in a while you do that like just at War Games because that's only when you could do it is on a dual ring. As long as he's not doing that every match. Good shit, pal. Anyways, moving on. Brian Last. So listen to this. This was amazing. People, Alt Jake, shout him out. He tagged me in this. And Brian Last listens to PWT confirmed.
So it would be more like a tea bag over here, but nevertheless.
A flute. People play
What would you like to listen to in your ears from Raycon?
I'd like to hear the flute.
Well, if you'd like to flaunt your flute, then we can find you a flautist.
Right.
And yeah, I threw my name in the hat there. I was like, dude. It's like, bruv, I am your flautist. Okay. I don't know. Are you guys into that stuff? Here we go. I'm moving along from miscellaneous, and I'm going to keep that in there for the remixes I got cooking for you guys. I got a lot more stuff coming too. That's why I was like, oh, I'm doing scripted. I just been, not working as much, chilling. You guys know. Okay, TNA hot news. So we do have some stuff here. We got the card for Bound for Glory, so we're going to do a watch along for this more than likely. But this is a thing that I've been seeing online. Is this narrative that, sorry, I'm just trying to collect my thoughts here. It's this narrative that Joe Hendry disappeared and vanished and, he just used WWE, whatever. It's more important than TNA and blah, 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 blah. Everyone just hating on Joe Hendry. Why? Because he made this huge splash. It's clearly helped TNA. It's clearly helped WWE and NXT. It's clearly helped him. It's clearly helped everybody. And they're hating on this dude. And I think a big part of that is because Tony Khan had Joe Hendry when he bought Ring of Honor, but he's one of the guys he decided not to run with, essentially. And I remember there was a bit there where people were like, man, where the fuck did Joe Hendry go? Thank God for TNA, But catching you up to now, this narrative that he's just disappeared or his validation comes from look, he's fighting Nick Nemeth at Bound for Glory in Detroit for the title. Probably another sellout for them. They're doing tremendous work, right? 5 matches as well. Look, they're picking up from WWE. There'll be a full pre-show like TNA does, but 5 matches that mean a lot with characters people really care about. I won't lie, the Full Metal Mayhem's whatever, but it's to get the belt on the Hardys. And then we'll talk about that card when it comes. I'm actually very excited for this. You guys know that I don't talk about TNA as much as I should. I should start reviewing every show for you guys because it's just a great wrestling show. And I will. I got more time on my hands now. But, well, maybe not, actually. Kids take up a lot of the time, but I'll just be around the house more than even before, I won't be going out as much either, So I'll just be like, all right, I'll cook some content. Anyways, you guys get the gist and the point. But anyways, people are fucking hating on Joe Hendry. And it's ridiculous because this narrative comes out too. So your path to relevancy is through WWE and not the company you currently work for? And what pisses me off about this is Joe Hendry announced it because he says kind of crazy how poorly that tweet will age in about 4 months, right? And it's how this guy goes, kind of crazy how fast Joe Hendry fell off the radar. And it's not the only guy saying this. You see it everywhere on X. Oh, he's fallen off. So people are like, oh, he's stooging. He's going to be in the Royal Rumble. And your path to relevancy is through the company you're not the one you currently work for, blah, blah, blah. So Hendry announces he's dropping a Eurovision remix to I Believe in Joe Hendry with serious producers and shit. And it's going to be a global Euro. They'll probably already think about it. You have people in the MLB, NFL. You have people in WWE showing up with Joe Hendry signs on the main roster. He is over like Rover. He disappeared for a bit to probably re-record and be a part of this thing. Plus, he didn't disappear. He did the TNA tapings, watched TNA. He's the focal part of their show, and he's fighting Nick Nemeth for the world title, and you'll probably get it. If I have to guess, they're going to put it on Nemeth. Put it on Hendry, and Nemeth gets screwed over by someone, goes into another storyline, maybe even a little sibling rivalry. Ryan versus Nick Nemeth. That's just me. Here, I'll give myself an X-Files for that one. I don't know if you guys are into that. I could totally see that happen. All I'm saying is that Joe Hendry is over like Rover. He's about to have this song that's going to go it's going to be huge. It's going to be playing everywhere. We're going to see it in every social media post. he might even come to the ring with this new theme instead of like the wave your hands from. He might completely change it, do the beginning, and come out to the Euro trash, I'll call it, the Euro mix, is what he called it. I can't remember, Eurovision or whatever the fuck he called it. Either way, it's gonna be amazing. And yeah, he's making big money moves, you idiots. That's what he's doing. He didn't fall off. And when he does come back, and so this whole 4-month thing, kind of crazy how that tweet will age in 4 months. Everyone's like, oh, what, the Rumble? No, in 4 months, this song's dropping. Like they're taking real time to do this thing. And he announced it. And it will play for like some soccer thing, I think, as well. It's going to play. It's like the theme of some soccer. I could be talking out of my ass on that last part, but I swear to God, it's associated. Here, I can just look it up over. It's because I didn't bookmark it. I just read it like before going on air here. It was on Joe Hendry's X. But either way, people talking shit. And he's going to show up in the Rumble. So it's, right here, the Eurovision Song Contest, Good Morning Europe, BBC Press Office. The United Kingdom confirms artists and song plans for Eurovision 2025. The Eurovision remix, I Believe in Joe Hendry. Yeah, so this is going to be, I don't know. I think it's going to be like Euro trash dance type stuff, but it's entered in this big BBC contest. BBC, pause, no dating. Just kidding. But either way, shout out fucking Joe Hendry. And when he does show up at the Rumble, huge mega pops. Wolverine DX for $5 says, congrats for your little one, Phil. Thank you so much,
Best
dude.
guys, Tony Khan.
Thank you. I appreciate that a lot. And we'll reveal more details as time goes on here. Such as, height and weight and all the gory details. Thank you so much, man, for being here. Appreciate it. So, yeah, I don't know. Fuck anyone hating on Joe Hendry. I just had to bring that up on the show. Okay, let's dive into, I don't know if I got any more memes for you guys. We're just going to go through the hot news, and then we're going to get into, or I already did that one. And then we're going to get into the sickos and the meltsy, seltsy, all the good stuff. Here, let me look in memes because there might be something. Yeah, you idiots are killing the fucking business. Dad got me a Porsche for my birthday. I wanted a Ferrari. Yeah, so some good ones there. Do we want WWE or AEW? We gotta, the sickos and stuff tie into it's easier to connect. The sickos and all that to the AEW news. So yeah, we'll do that after. What's the chat saying? Euro street trash. Yeah, I don't know. I know that I definitely talked out of my ass on that soccer thing till I corrected myself. It's for like this BBC contest, but yeah, nonetheless, there's like a soccer thing because Europeans love soccer. It's like in their logo, there's like a little soccer ball in like a heart. So that's why I botched that. But congratulations to Phil's lady. She's going to work. Yeah, absolutely. She's doing the work. Yeah, both. You're the man. Yeah, appreciate you guys, man. Yeah, appreciate on the fuck trophy. Yeah, that's what oh man, it's so funny. Yeah, chat's crushing it tonight. It's good. Yeah, Hendry's the man. Don't say his name 3. I want him to appear. He will appear one day. I just matched Hendry against Joey Janela. Joe Hendry is amazeballs, and I don't care what anyone says. He's so good. Imagine half the world singing along to a wrestler's theme song. Exactly. Joe Hendry in the chat anonymously. Yeah, he listens. He's always in the chat. Yeah. Thank you guys so much. So Will Ferrell in Eurovision. Got to watch that movie. Yo, Will Ferrell in Kicking and Screaming, where he gets the Italians like to join his soccer team. And he's like starts losing his mind as like a youth soccer coach. That movie is so good. Jay White versus Christian Cage, solid match. Hopefully Jay White gets a big win and he doesn't just get 50-50 booked. We're going to talk about Dynamite, don't worry, but I started the show so early because, yeah, you already know why I talked about it. That's Eurovision is a big competition. Plinian, that's what's up. Thank you, because that's what I'm talking about. It's a huge deal, and it's a remix. All I'm saying is I believe in Joe Hendry, but I also believe that it's like gonna be a dance remix, and this will be possibly his new theme as well, going into like wrestling. And it makes sense because the whole like wave your hands from, it's good, but it can be elevated in WWE if he takes it to the next. Like, I'm not saying do the Alex Wright or anything, but you guys know what I'm saying. Could be you could put a drop in there and it could fucking hit. Pizza. This dude's talking about pizza. Pizza in Italian. Yeah, how do you say pizza in Italian? What was it? Donde mi Italiano? When the Italians don't show up to the game. Donde mi Italiano? He's freaking out. And he's all addicted to coffee because he never had coffee before. Oh my God. This is what needs to happen. Now I know the casting, y'all might be like, what? That might, but Will Ferrell playing Tony Khan in like a life biopic where they like de-age him and shit, or like put his face CGI on another body, you know, and it's a Will Ferrell could pull it off 100%. Because you can't be like, that's the thing. To be a dumb guy like Jim Carrey, it's not easy. That's like the hardest shit to do, is play like the simplest characters with simple-minded characters, you know? It's more complicated to do that than it is to. That's why people do it and it's cringe. But that's why when the GOATs do it, they're typically good actors and also like drama and stuff like that. Like Jim Carrey or Robin Williams, they could just do a drama because they can, or Will Ferrell as well. He's a tremendous actor. It's because they can just play stupid. And it's like, that's a difficult thing to do, actually, you know? So to play Tony Khan, it's not like you get someone who looks like him who can like, oh, this is great. No, you got to get someone who can like empty their brain out and like understand. Not to be so rude, I'm just talking shit. Yo, Tony Khan, I got a little one coming. I need a job now, bud. So I'll start kissing your ass if I get Will Washington in. How about that? Let's talk about some hot news, though. It's time for WWE news. I need a drop for every segment, guys. So if anyone's like, oh, this would be good for WWE news, prowrestletimes@gmail.com. Hit me up and yeah, be like, hey, here's my suggestion. I now don't guarantee I'll use anything. Or if you guys have clips, anything like that, tag me, email me. Appreciate it. Here, I'm going to chug some Red Bull, and then we're going to talk about CM Punk. Okay. So via the No Contest Wrestling, I believe that's O'Shea Jackson Jr.'s podcast, which it's good, but it's and I'm just talking so much shit today. I feel bad because today was a good day. It just is like another Van Vliet show, though. You know, it's not. They're never gonna. It's just you can only ask those same questions. Even me, like I've had wrestlers on, and I realized the way to do shit is like how I did it with like Matt Morgan, where he just does my show. I've had like Killer Kelly on and I'm just like asking her Mark questions because I'm all nervous and shit. I realize going forward, like, no, when, I'm not saying if, when other wrestlers come on or legends or they're just doing this, I'm going to pull up bookmarks and I'm going to make them just do this show. And it's going to be different than everything else because it sort of dawned on me like, yeah. How many different ways can you ask CM Punk about? He's got a million amazing stories to tell for sure, but this is proof, though, that CM Punk listens to PWT. Confirmed, though. NXT, this is Phil Brooks quoting Phil Marks here, it seems like, right? NXT, the way it's set up now is just like a sports college program. They have everything in-house. Boom. And people have ragged on me in the past for saying that, but that's what NXT is. It's like a college campus feel. It's such a wonderful show. Oh, yeah, I was going to review, though. So let's do WWE news. We'll quickly review some shit, and then we'll talk about Dynamite, preview it, and then whip the show on. But anyways, you know, Punk said it. It's like a college program, dude, and that's what I equate it to as well. It's like they're in this PC center. Where are the where's Ashanti hitting on these ladies? I don't know. It looks like they're in a cafeteria. They have a locker room. People got names on them. They're athletes training and performing and competing in this like wrestling league this wrestling minor league or whatever. I don't know. It's brilliant. That's the way I've tried to explain it. That's why it's over with me. And that's exactly how CM Punk explains it. Boom. There you go. He listens to PWT Confirmed. Wrestling Russ for $5 says, my man been on a long vacation. Got home and wanted to pull up to PWT. Yeah, dude, everybody's pulling up. It's good shit. And thank you, Wrestling Russ, for pulling up. And an amazing show. We're about to review some WWE. We're doing some WWE hot news. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the $5. Appreciate it. And we already had a Tony Khan movie. It was called The 40-Year-Old Virgin. Yes, dude. Oh, man. That was
the best
amazing.
guys, Tony Khan.
Who would play Dave Meltzer? Me. No. Not ugly enough. No, dude. See, I'm being harsh today. That's why I'm just feeling myself today. You know what I mean? Like I lost my keys. I'm just feeling all over me now. See that? Bars. I got bars today too. Let's go now. What's up, PWT Universe? Let's go. Dynamite ain't even on yet. We already on one. Something to keep an eye on. Joe Hendry. We already talked about that. Shout him out. So speaking of podcasts, one that I enjoy is Undertaker when he interviews these legends, because this is where you get some of these stories that don't really come out. You don't really hear anywhere else because they're just sort of reminiscing. Now, people are like, Undertaker's just old and he thinks wrestlers are soft and shit. And he's right. They are. Oh, you're mad at an old guy that times changed? And he's noting how the times are different? Entitled fucking millennial pussies. Sorry, guys. But for real, people are just, yes, it's true. Times have changed and it's probably better that people don't have guns at the, you know what I mean? In the locker room. However, Undertaker can talk about how that's different for him. And you know what I mean? And it's still valid as well. And you don't need to get mad about it. But here's Booker T telling a hilarious story as I drink a Red Bull about an MMA fighter taking his Red Bull and then getting kicked out of the building. Like Booker T famously has like Red Bulls backstage. When he shows up to a show, he's there all day. He has like a fridge full of Red Bulls, right? Famously. And everyone knows you don't touch Booker T's Red Bulls, okay? And, or maybe infamously, because I don't know how many people even know that story. But one time, this MMA fighter, now recently, I heard this story told by the UFC fighter, I think on Quentin Rampage Jackson's podcast. I was looking all over for the clip and could not find it. So if somebody could find it or tag me in it, I swear, because it slips my mind who the fighter is, and I swear it might have been like a bantamweight. I don't want to say it's TJ Dillashaw. It was somebody, though, like a smaller guy, I think. But they were on, I want to say Quentin Rampage Jackson's podcast, and they told the story recently about how wrestlers take themselves too seriously and how he got kicked out of a locker room for taking a Red Bull because he didn't know. He's back there like, oh, I thought these are just Red Bulls for the boys. I didn't know who the fuck brings 20 Red Bulls to or whatever. Because Booker T's fueled off Red Bull. I'm the same way. I drink sugar-free Red Bull. That's the shit. I don't like Monster. I don't like none of that other shit. I just sugar-free Red Bull. But yeah, here's Booker telling the story. And I tried to find the MMA fighter side of it and to confirm who it was and if they couldn't beat the shit out of Booker T. But I could not find it anywhere, unfortunately. But this is a hilarious story. Shout out Booker T, one of my all-time favorites.
I think I almost made a fatal mistake one day. I had a Red Bull flip out, but I came in the locker room, and it was Sabu, and he was standing there with this guy, and this guy was drinking a Red Bull, and the cooler was right there. And I looked at him, and I go, "Where'd you get that Red Bull?" He goes, "I got it out of the cooler." And then I go, "Who are you?" And before he say anything, I say, "Now, why are you in the locker room?" And I say, "And why are you drinking my Red Bull?" And then he has the Red Bull like that. He goes, "Oh, man."
Now tell me you did not just drink that, sucker.
And I'm sorry, I'll pay you for it. And I knocked the Red Bull out of his hand. Boom. It hits the ground. And I go, "Why are you in my locker room, man?" I'll tell you what, get out of here, man. Get out of the locker room. I mean, Sabu goes, "No, he's with me, man." I go, "No, he's not with you. get out, man. He starts walking out of the locker room. I go, no, get out of the building. So I walked him all the way to the back door, threw him out of the building.
Where was I for that one?
And I found out he was an MMA fighter. He could have kicked my ass all over the place, and I wouldn't have known it. I was like, what the
bro, you sold it, brother. You sold him a bill of goods.
I think that's what it was.
Damn, dude, that is a funny story. God, I wish I remember who it was. But either way, hilarious. And Booker T will fight too. Like, it's not like he wouldn't have thrown down, but yeah, he admits it too. Like, dude, because even if it was a little bantamweight, like this is the difference, right? These UFC dudes are literally just training to fight all day. They'll train 3 times a day to just fight. So just based on that alone, like even the smaller dudes in MMA whoop a lot of dudes' asses that are way bigger than them for sure. Just based off the fact they're training every fucking day, you know? And then you have a guy like Nakamura who like he's rolling and is in the gym every day. He would fare better than like a roided up fucking, you know, like Batista in a fight. You can watch his MMA fight. He's not that good. You know what I mean? He's not super good. He can roll a little bit. He's decent at jiu-jitsu, but he wasn't a good fighter, you know, like whatsoever. So, yeah, Booker T will go, but even like a band, he's like, I'll pay for it. Booker T slaps the Red Bull out of his hands. Jesus, man. And he's like, I almost made a fatal decision one day. It was almost a fatality. Oh, man. Batista did MMA. Yeah, he did a fight. He fought some dude on like a regional circuit thing. And after the fight, you could tell he didn't like getting hit. But here's the thing with Batista. He fought a guy who was like kind of a jobber, but that's what you do. Like your first fight should be against a jobber. Typically in MMA, though, you get matched up with someone who's the same experience as you, typically, you know? That's what's trippy about boxing. Boxing's like you come in, you're like 0-0, and then you get matched up against a guy who's like 2-10. 2-7, you know, you fight these soup cans. In MMA, it's like you come in, you're 0-0, you fight a guy who's 0-1, or you fight a guy who's like 1-0. You know, MMA is crazier that way. But yeah, Batista fought like a real guy who had like a lot of experience, but he wasn't like a real dude. As far as he may have fought in the UFC for like one fight, the guy that Batista fought, you know, maybe I don't know about that for sure, but he wasn't like. He was supposed to get beat, but Batista, you could tell, didn't like getting hit. And, yeah, just his hands aren't that great. But he has decent grappling. He's a heavy guy, you know. And Lashley over Batista. Lashley would smoke Batista. Lashley, here's the thing. And I would have loved to see this fight in their prime, but Lashley probably prime to prime. Actually, I don't want to say that, but Lashley's more skilled than Brock Lesnar, technically. I'll just throw that out there. Like all around MMA, Lashley's more skilled than Lesnar. He might debut tonight on Dynamite. There's rumors of that. However, I'm hearing he's taking one of those freak boxing matches in like Saudi Arabia before we ever see him in it. That's what but hot news, Phil Scoops over here. But yeah, Lashley over Batista for sure. Brock beats them both. All honestly, because Brock is just a freak, and he fought he got beat by Kane, but he legit fought and beat like Shane Carwin. He beat some of the best in the world. So, and Lashley had way more fights and like all around is more skilled, but yeah, just I don't know. Because I'd say Mark Hunt clears Lashley and Lesnar beat Mark Hunt. So there you go. MMA math for you guys. Make sure you're hitting that like. 200 of you watching. Let's run them up to 100. If you missed the big announcement, go back and check that out too. A couple big announcements at the start of the show. We're at only 66 likes. Come on, man. Mini Marks is coming. Not even 100 likes. What are we doing here?
You what?
No, I love you guys. Thank you for being here. Almost 200 in here, though. Yeah, run those likes up. Lashley for Josh Barnett Bloods. Oh, my God. Would that be amazing? Oh, my God. And MVP's doing. Oh, my God. Black Metal Hooligan. Oh, my God. You heard it here first. Dude, think about it. All of them. Hurt Syndicate, but like MVP in GCW, Benjamin in a blood sport match, Lashley in a blood sport versus Josh Barnett. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm marking out for that, dude. I'm such a sicko. That made me dude, thank you for that. That is amazing. That is amazing. Yeah, I heard Bobby's gonna go get that Saudi Arabia money like on his own dime. He'll fight he'll fight someone legit too, not like Francis Ngannou fighting, but he'll fight like one of these influencers or another fucking Jake. What's Jake Hager doing? What's Jake Hager undefeated in Bellator as well? I don't think Lashley lost in Bellator. We're talking about it. Let's fucking look it up. We got time here. Bobby Lashley, we're going to Wikipedia and we're going to look at his record here and I'm going to break it down for you guys. Here's the MMA portion of the show. We're not going to dive too deep, but I'm going to just break it down for you fools. Here, share this tab instead. Dude, look at like barely any losses. So Joshua Franklin, whatever, he's fighting in these local things. Jason Guida, Mike Cook, Bob Sapp in his fourth fight, he TKO'd Bob Sapp. Now Bob Sapp just quits, and he's this guy. You guys know him, this big freak. He's in the longest yard, and he just quits. Soon as you pop him, he quits. But still, like a big name fight. This is in some random fed. Then he goes to Strikeforce. Fights Wes Sims, former UFC competitor. I think he challenged for the heavyweight title as well. Wes Sims TKO'd him in round 1. Fights Chad Griggs. That's a good name. He got beat, though. Lashley got TKO'd. John Ott, Carl Noth, James Thompson. Wow. He fought James Thompson. James Thompson's a real motherfucker. And this fight took place in India, dude, in New Delhi. That's crazy. And he lost a decision, but still went to decision with James Thompson, who's a real motherfucker. Okay. Fight some guys. Josh Burns, I'm not overly familiar with, but that was at Bellator. He is undefeated in Bellator. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fights. Bellator and PFL merged, and they're doing big-ass fights in Saudi Arabia. And they're just like throwing millies around. His last fight was in 2016. Don't do MMA. Even though his wrestling is probably his best strength, but Lashley could easily do boxing against some guy. And look, this James Thompson guy who beat him back here. So Lashley has 2 losses. He got TKO'd by some fucking guy, Chad Griggs, right? Who fought in the UFC. Yeah, he fought in UFC. This guy TKO'd him. He never fought Chad Griggs again, right? But this is what's important in MMA. This guy that took him to decision, James Thompson, he fought him all these years later and TKO'd him in the first round and got that loss back. He raced that loss definitively by TKOing a guy who took him to decision. So I don't know, man. Jake Hager versus fucking Bobby Lashley. Book it. Hager's like 4-0 in Bellator, 5-0 or something like that. So there you go. So is Lashley. Build him as that. Do it in Saudi Arabia. Bellator versus PFL, just whatever. Yeah, I don't know. Sorry if you guys don't like MMA, but I'm connecting it to WWE and AEW there because I think Jake Hager's contract is up, and I don't think he's with AEW, is he? I saw him in the Chris Van Vliet held like the Black Label Pro Wrestling Combines, and Jake Hager competed in that where they did like arm wrestling, rope running, speed challenges, all that sort of stuff. The Rabid Wolverine LC Killer 17 says, one time I mixed NyQuil and Red Bull and make feel like I was going for an 8-hour Iron Man match. You sick bastard. Dude, we're just glad you're here to tell the fucking tale, my friend. I'm just glad you're alive to tell us about it. Thank you so much for the super chat. And yeah, sorry, folks, if you don't care about MMA, but that's part of it. Anyways, though, AJ Styles confirmed that. I don't remember who said. We covered it on the show. So let's see. Jackie Redmond is clearly on WWE's payroll. And so this guy is a sicko. So good thing we played the sickos. He's like, I don't buy AJ Styles is actually injured. The whole thing is based on 2 people's word. Jackie Redmond, who is clearly on WWE's payroll. Meltzer, who's proven himself as reliable as a discount condom from a Dollar General. And then he tagged Sean Ross Sapp in Fightful Select, who said that AJ Styles' foot injury was a work. We covered it on the show, right? AJ comes out and go, it's called a Liz Frank injury. Look it up. It sucks. I thought when I took off my boot, I would have bones sticking out of my foot. And AJ Styles is going to be out for a fucking year. Okay? AJ Styles is out for a year. So Fightful and them are wrong. This goofball's tagging them. Meltzer seemed to be right. Or who? Yeah, Meltzer said it was a fucking. One of them said it was fake. Who cares? They're all dummies, and I'm gonna give them a dummy. Yeah, but this is what we're dealing with here. Everyone says different shit. No one gets it right.
Yeah.
And then I'm an asshole, for. And I get called an asshole for questioning all of these people. But I'm gonna trust AJ Styles. I'm gonna trust the way it went down during the broadcast, and I don't trust Meltzer. He was just guessing. It's like flipping a coin, right? You're bound to get it right. But yeah, if AJ's gone for a year, then that fucking sucks. And does he miss WrestleMania again? I don't fucking know. My timeline's off. Someone do the timeline for that for me. But yeah, disappointing. And I hope he's okay, man. He's got few precious years left, AJ Styles, right? He's got maybe like 4 or 5 real ones left, And then I see him doing like a one-off in AEW, just like a super match at Wembley for like $1 million, and then he just goes back and gets inducted into WWE. I totally see AJ doing that, a one-off. We're going to talk about, though, like people. Well, I guess it's WWE news. So Kevin Owens re-signed with WWE as well, and then of course the sickos are burying him. And imagine what Kevin Steen could have did in AEW. Oh, I can't wait to roast those marks in a bit. So Fightful is also reporting they've been told there are no creative plans for Brock Lesnar's return. We're about to review Raw in a moment. I'm doing quick, lightning fast reviews. And yeah. So if there's two things, pardon me, guys, sorry. So if there's two things everyone should have learned in the Triple H era, nobody casually or accidentally mentions someone multiple times on TV for no reason. Major surprises don't get leaked anymore. Exactly. Thank you, Triple H's thoughts. I should get him on the show. I asked him a long time ago. He's like, yeah, for sure. And then I just never followed up. But it's not that like for any reason. It just totally slipped my mind. So I'm going to reach out to him, maybe get him on the show. She has really good takes and just a funny dude. So anyways, yeah, he's absolutely right. Nobody casually or accidentally mentions people. And Brock Lesnar was mentioned numerous times, multiple times. They're referring to him. We know that there's interest. And then all of a sudden we get these dummies reporting things like worked wrestling. And I don't mean to hate on these people or anything, but they're like many backstage in WWE reportedly unhappy with Brock Lesnar. And it's like, who? Name them. I'm so tired of you guys just going many. I could just say many backstage are hungry in catering tonight at Dynamite. And it's probably true, but like who? Don't just say that. It's so annoying. And that's why we chronicle it here on PWT. John Laurinaitis, divorced from Kathy Colas, who is the Bella Twins' mother. Obviously he was, cheating on her when she's going through stuff, and he's trying to throw Vince under the bus, and then he's siding with Vince, and he's just the piece of shit everybody claimed he always was. As far as we know, he was stooging to Sheets, allegedly, and he may have been partaking in, hey, come on my plane, pal. So I don't know, man. What would Jim Cornette say? Fuck him, feed him fish heads. So yeah. Shout out Johnny Ace. I'm just kidding. Shout out the Bella Twins, I guess. It's fuck them. I don't know what else to say. So no one's really, other than DDP, no one's got anything nice to say about that guy. So moving along here, let's review some grap, shall we? Some WWE. As I pull these up. Chat, what have you guys been watching? What have you been getting into lately? I've been watching the Chucky show because it got canceled. It didn't even get canceled technically. Or it did, but it's done on USA. And like WWE, they just shifted it off to Netflix. So I think it's like Heels. Like if the show does well, they'll probably renew it for 4th seasons and all that, but I'm liking it. I'm in season 2. It's not my favorite show ever, but if you watch all the Chucky movies, does a good job of staying in the lore and all of that and keeping true to the characters. And also Liv Morgan's in it, and they did cross promotion stuff with pro wrestling stuff, and that's why I bring it up as well. And it's spooky season, so you got to pick something to binge. I'm doing Chucky. All the new shit sucks too. You guys watch all these movies like this new Channing Tatum shit where they're like on an island, and like that movie sucks. All these movies suck. Infinity Pool, that shit sucks, you know? I haven't seen a good Smile. That's garbage. I could bury all these shits all day, but yeah, all these new movies, horror movies, they just don't hit the way they used to, you know? They just rely on cheap shit. Or you watch Skinamarink and it's like, hey, I'm just looking at a wall for 4 hours. Like, what the fuck is going on? WWE Raw results. So I pull this up. And that's the movie section of PWT, yeah. Make sure you're running the likes up. We are going to talk about Raw, as Brendan Schaub would say, as I try and get Dynamite on my screen here, which I will. And I'm not going to tell you guys how I'm watching it tonight. You guys can figure it out for yourselves. So here we go. It's coming on in about 10 minutes, but yeah, don't worry. We're going to review Raw quickly. Okay. So the return of Cody Rhodes, Rhea Ripley appearance, WWE Women's Tag Team Championship, Kofi Kingston, Braun Breaker, R-Truth, and The Miz. So Rhea Ripley comes out, kicks off Raw. She gets beat up by Raquel and Liv after everybody's been saying, oh, you're booking Rhea to be too powerful. Man, everyone's running away from her and blah, 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 blah. Well, here you go, guys. She got a beat down. They stood tall, and it was what it was. You know, Stratton also teamed up with Rhea later in the night, which was a cool team up. You know, it was like unique and different, but Tiffy's there and they sort of progressed the Nia Jax stuff along because she comes out and ruins their match later. Whatever, solid stuff, solid story progression. You know, they're kind of just jamming stuff in for Crown Jewel, which I don't like, but at least they're giving it 3-4 weeks and not like 1 week or whatever. Belair and Cargill are going to throw down with Damage Control, but they're going to throw down with Jackson and Lash Legend from NXT again, because like Kevin Owens interrupted their last shit, and then the match went short and people boo-booed on it. But obviously they're just trying to establish Jackson and Legend as like a floater team, because what did I tell y'all? SmackDown and NXT are going to cross over way more. Okay. While Raw's on Netflix, we're going to see a lot of the talent, especially the women talent, float across both. That's my opinion. But yeah, Cargill and Belair retain. Good stuff. Braun Breaker cuts a little promo. 2-hour Raw, remind you. Alpha Academy come out against the War Raiders. So again, we were right here on PWT. It was the War Raiders, not Penta and Ray and all that shit. War Raiders show up. They're more themselves, but they can't go war, war, war. And they made him a mix of like biker, like kind of what Ivar, I think, or Eric, I don't know who's who. Ivar is the bigger dude. What Ivar was doing in NXT, like kind of like the biker dude, they mixed that with the Viking thing. I don't know. You can go full Vikings with the war and the helmets and that gimmick. You know, like just do it like they did in Japan. Like you can still just lean into that, but just be more real, and that's all. Like don't lean into the Valhalla, we're doing the spooky mysticism of the Viking ancestor. Like don't do all that shit. Just be yourselves, but be the Vikings. So it was weird how they were kind of mixed. They just seemed like random team, you know? In my opinion, they're just wearing their Viking gear, but like no paint and no shit. I don't know. Felt cheap, to be honest. And then the match was like whatever. So I was kind of hyped for their return, and I'm glad they're beefing up the tag teams. I know Chris Connor wants to yell, there's no money in tag teams, but what have I told you guys? Jakara Jackson, Lash Legend. Here's the Raiders. We got Motor City debuting this week on SmackDown. You know what I mean? You guys know what I'm saying? Okay. They're beefing up tag teams here, and I called it before anyone else. It's what we do here. 200 of you, run the likes up. Let's continue. So, Cody Rhodes and Gunther promo. was what it was. Now, this Raw felt like a SmackDown too, because it's 2 hours. I'm going to be honest. I like 3-hour shows. I've said it before. Everyone, 3-hour Raws is so much. Oh, golly gee. Like, okay, that's what everyone says. I want Raw to be 4 hours, bitch. How about that? No, but I want 3-hour Raw. SmackDown's so good some weeks I go, I want a 3-hour SmackDown. What the fuck? NXT, I won't lie. I'm like 2 hours can be much sometimes where I'm like, damn, that was a long ass show. But that's sort of a good thing for those guys, you know, and gals. So leave it at the 2 hours, but I'm even down with 1 hour NXT, to be honest. But yeah, so that's my opinion on it. I want 3-hour Raw. I want 3-hour SmackDown, or like 2.5, 2:45. That's what I can't wait for Raw Netflix. It'll be amazing. But yeah, so they shook hands though. This is like, I think Gunther beats Cody here. Do you guys want my hot scoop here? I think Gunther, he's won it all. He's won the fucking King of the Ring, the World Heavyweight title, the Crown Jewel belt. I think he wins everything. And then that's down the line where Gunther's like, Cody, I'll take that other belt from you too if you're not careful. Like, I got to do my own thing over on Raw. You're on SmackDown. But, like, you know, I could totally see that happening. But I don't know. That's not my final pick. When we do the watch along, you guys will know like I tell you guys, I flip flop, but on the day of, I get my final picks, because that's usually when I'm shooting from the hip. That's when I am the most accurate. It's all about a feel. It's all about a vibe. I told you guys that early on in PWT live show history. You know, it's all about a vibe. This is a vibe here. But yeah, I think Cody will probably get the win. No, it just makes sense, right? Like, you can't. But then what does that say about Gunther? You know, Cody's been winning every match. Or no, I think they lost recently too. Yeah, so in that tag match, no, I don't recall. Either way, I've consumed so much wrestling, but either way, if Gunther wins, don't be shocked. Anyways, let's move along. There's other stuff going on. Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston stuff. Braun Breaker beats Kingston. Xavier comes out. Breaker beats his ass. Uso saves them, right? And unfinished business. Xavier's going to turn eventually here. I'm down. They play this promo for Dragon Lee where he's like a superhero, man. He's like a mutant from the X-Men. He's like spawning these dragon wings. And this is how you do cinematic. Like in 2024, this is how you do vignettes. This isn't cheesy. This is how you incorporate like Lucha Underground type shit. Like, in the UFC, they do promos like this. Go look at the Francis Ngannou versus Ferreira fight that's going down in PFL Bellator. It's like they're King Kong and Godzilla smashing down buildings, like the video game Rampage, to get to each other. It's like two gaijus fighting. You know what I mean? Dragon Lee, they do this like, I don't know if it's AI, CGI, whatever the fuck, where he's got like wings bursting out of his back, and he's in like Japan, but he's a luchador, you know, and he's like, I'm getting back to who I was, and he's like spitting fire out of his eyes and mouth. Shit is insane. It's amazing. I like these. Do more of these. R-Truth versus The Miz. So straight up, The Miz wins, or R-Truth wins, sorry, but Cross is starting, as they say here, connect the dots. He's tweeting out about this, and he goes, they think it's all a coincidence. It's far stronger than their egos. So Cross, this whole time on social media, has been connecting these dots of these little things happening in WWE. It's like, I've been responsible for them, and they've been doing it for a long time now. So hopefully there's a payoff to this. You know what I mean? Hopefully it's not just him doing this for, because some of the Bray Wyatt stuff, RIP, it felt like they were just kind of dragging it on forever and ever. Like, okay, how many times am I just going to see a spooky thing pop on the screen? Like, what's the payoff here? It's starting to feel that way with Karrion, but if The Miz is involved, etc., it's all good. But yeah, it was what it was. Backstage, Jey Uso opens locker room door, and he sees Jimmy Uso sitting there. We are getting a Bloodline reunion. Can I get a... And then Rhea Ripley and Tiffany take on Liv and Raquel. It's a no contest. And yeah, just bickering at ringside. Lash Legend and Jakara Jackson were there. That was last week or this week, I think that photo's from. I might have been even whatever. Either way, it was what it was. Raw was pretty decent. I want 3 hours Raw back. I want fucking Netflix era Raw to where this feels like, you guys remember how SmackDown was on. It was like, this is the show. And then it sort of fell off. Not fell off, but Raw picked up a lot. This Raw felt like fucking SmackDown, to where it's like, oh shit, they're gonna just start, because SmackDown is the same thing every show. They start with what's going to be the main event angle. Like, they come out, cut promos, all of a sudden it's the main event later in the night. Okay, that's like old territory, but they do it every fucking week. And I get why they do that, because they want to end the show with good ratings, unlike AEW, where they're like, we'll give you our best shit first because the most people are watching. No, WWE's like, we're going to give you our best shit first and then end it with our best shit, you know? So they did that on this Raw. And if every Raw is going to be like this too until Netflix, oh, I'm going to be pissed, guys. You're going to hear Phil bitching about it a whole lot. But yeah, that is my review as Dynamite starts, and they're playing a great little package. Pause. Of Moxley carting Danielson out, etc. And hopefully we get something from this. Moxley's just riding in the back of a pickup truck, looking like he's about to go do a lynching. And he's talking about Danielson and how he beat him and forget the locker room and all that. Everyone's disappointed. I don't know. We're going to hear a good theory on what AEW is doing right now from a guy. And that was the review of Raw, everybody. We'll talk about NXT as well. Let me get to these. Oh, Jimmy B. Penguin Show for $2 says, the Penguin Show kicks ass. I'm watching that next. I hear it's really good. The 4th episode of The Penguin is one of the highest rated IMDb television shows of all time. That's a fact. So I'm like, okay, not that like, oh, IMDb ratings matter, but let's be honest here. You guys know what I mean? Like, if it's that high, you got to trust it a little bit. You know, if it's up there with Breaking Bad episodes and shit, show must be really good. So thank you so much for the super chat. Black Metal Hooligan for $2 says, The Substance is the horror movie you need to see with Demi Moore, I believe, right? Still in theaters. As soon as it's on demand, I will watch it. I've been telling my wife that's what the fuck I want to watch real badly. You know what I mean? Like, that's the only one I'm looking forward to. And I'm a huge Demi Moore mark as well, like Striptease, obviously, when I was younger. Hello, Thirstcast. Love Demi Moore. So yes, Adam Cole's making his entrance. The crowd didn't really react too hot, man. These crowds have been dead. There's 1,000 people in a 17,000 building for this fucking Dynamite chat. And but Adam Cole's got really cool music. But The Substance, yes, I will watch that, okay? Michael Driard for $5 says, thanks for watching Dynamite, so I don't have to. You are doing the Lord's work, I know. Gonna watch my Dodgers instead. Let us know how the Dodgers do. Shout them out. I got friends going, hey, man, all these, just cheer. I got friends, PWT listeners DMing me, cheering for all the different teams. So, yeah, I guess let's go Dodgers, but let's go every team right now. I like the Blue Jays, but I haven't been following baseball this year, and because there's just so much wrestling, and I got other shit going on. But the Jays, because they're the only Canadian team, you know, so I just support them when I can. Jonesy84 for $10. Thank you. I was so happy Jay told Jimmy to kick rocks instead of immediately putting them back together. Exactly. And also, this is what I'm happy about. Roman going, no yeet. Nah. And then Jimmy having to be like, dude, we need him, though, after their beatdown. Phenomenal stuff. But now I'm wondering if Jimmy doesn't do something in his match against Braun next week. Bruh, Jonesy, thank you so much. Because I forgot to say that, too. Because this is what's important. It's the details. It's the story. Jimmy gets involved to help Jay retain his belt, but Jay's like, nah, you don't get it. Like, we don't do shit that way, and I don't need your help. Like, and we think it'll make them be like, oh, they're boys again, but it kind of pushes them away further. Woo! We're cooking now. We're cooking now. I know WWE's on some shit like that. And yeah, I believe that's what's going to happen. And Jimmy's just floating around, and we're going to get OG Bloodline. I'm starting to think Hikuleo might be with Evil Bloodline, and Sami Zayn just might, because it makes sense, right? To just get the old Bloodline minus Son Solo Sikoa, you know, that makes the most sense. So thank you so much for the super chat. For $5, American Moxley X from Ezra Gober. Dude, yeah. He's just combining American History X and the Whitepool Neo Moxley clan. That's their new name. I know it's long, but someone get that one to Jim Cornette, please and thank you. Mrs. Corny, if you're listening tonight, the Whitepool Neo Moxley clan. Yeah. Thank you so much for the super chat as well. Merge for $2. Will tonight be the AEW debut of Monet? Has Aubrey refed a Monet match? Because that's the technical first debut. But if that ever actually happens, where they team up or they get aligned somehow, I will burst out laughing. Thank you so much for the $2. AEW. Now, your boy Phil Marks may or may not work in and around the comic book industry. We'll just say it like that. And they did a collaboration with AEW where they put some of their heroes in there. If you guys don't know, man, DC Comics is hurting too. It's not just Warner Bros. Movies and TV that's losing money. Their comics are shit these days. And sorry to some of my fucking peers, but they have the DC shit all around the ring. So brand integration, I think they're going to be with WBD like forever. I think they're bought in. And I think they got more equity in this deal as well. I think they got more of the company out of this deal as well. This last deal and more. Yeah. So shout them out for being in comics. Like we're getting DC Comics where Swerve Strickland's like fighting bad guys, but it's it's like, damn, dude, just look up what people are saying about Wonder Woman and shit recently in DC. Like people are shitting all over DC lately as well. They downsized their offices too. They fired so many writers. So many of their writers are fucking shit hacktivists, you know, whatever. That's another YouTube channel for another day, but it's just not a good look, you know. It's like, damn, too little, too late. Hen Lee for $5. Hi, Phil from Sydney by way of New Orleans. Hell yeah, dude. Thanks for reporting AEW as I could never bother watching it anymore. No problem, man. Yeah, I'm here to journal it. I'm here to let you guys know if something's good. Adam Cole's cutting a great promo. I'm talking over him, and I don't give a shit that much because the crowd's not that into it. And we've seen him do this like every time Adam Cole comes back, cuts a heartfelt promo, then disappears or whatever. And it's just silliness. So it's just Cole versus MJF again, except for MJF's the bad guy and Cole's the good guy, except for Cole hijacked the show, became the devil, hacked the live feeds, hacked the fucking Titantrons, beat up wrestlers, broke people's necks, put together this evil faction. The faction, the United Kingdom or whatever they're called, the Undisputed Kingdom, Strong and Taven and them are still heels. But Cole is just a babyface magically and not the devil guy haunting MJF. And now just the roles are reversed and he's like, you're a piece of shit, MJF. I'm calling you out. What? What happened to all the devil shit?
You so what?
Stupid. So stupid. But thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. I lied. Swerve in the comic was holding an NXT title belt for $10, plenty in pixel art. Yes, so I forgot to point this out too. The chat's saving me with the super chats tonight because I keep forgetting these points. Thank you. Literally, look it up. I'll pull it up. I'm the one doing the show. So here, Swerve, Strickland, DC comic book. He's literally wearing the NXT North American Championship in the picture. I saw that too. Where is it? I don't know. They got Britt Baker, Darby in there. I can't find it exactly, but it's somewhere on X. Someone tag me in it on X. Okay, chat. Thank you so much. Oh, right here. I found it right here. We'll share this tab instead. So DC gave Swerve the NXT North American Championship in the comic book. Fix this, AEW. Look at that shit. Like, that's crazy, dude. That's such a bad botch. And that's what I mean. The people in DC can't be bothered to even, like, they don't know the difference between WWE and AEW. And not only that, the people in DC right now don't know the difference between fucking Spider-Man and Superman, in all fairness. That's crazy bad, chat. That's crazy bad, chat. That's crazy bad that they fucked that up, man. Holy. Thank you so much, Plinian. Please watch the F-bombs. Thanks. Yeah. Well, yeah, you guys can say whatever in the chat. Just don't overdo it. Don't be spamming cusses. If everyone says fuck at the same time, it might be like if everyone flushes a toilet at the same time. We might just get nuked off YouTube. You know, let's all try it. Everyone at this. I'm going to count to 3. No, I'm just kidding. So MJF sipping wine and doing the promo that Samoa Joe was doing the one time ever when he was the champion. He did a vignette where he was like sipping wine wearing a suit in like a fucking log cabin. Shadow Bad Ash for $10 says the entire AEW roster has more heel and face turns than the Big Show. Bro, exactly. And I'm going to tell you this much too. I'm doing a couple videos coming up where I'm going through rosters and I'm going to tier list them while also telling you, or it's gonna be tier list video, but it's gonna be like fired or hired, like staying or going, you know. And I'm gonna be very critical of all rosters, WWE included. Thank you so much. But yeah, they got, you know, they flip flop more than fucking Hillary Clinton. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, they do be flipping around though. Thank you. Shadow Bat Ash, and appreciate you seeing you all over the place, showing love to PWT. So MJF doing a great promo, but again, if you just really think about the whole devil scenario, that whole story was fucked up. They spent a year, so it's like just erase that year of AEW lore and canon, you know? Canon fodder to the highest extent. So we got some matches here. Let's talk about. We got Mercedes Moné taking on Queen Aminata. So Queen Aminata is going to win. No, just kidding. Moné's obviously going to win. It's non-title, thank God. Adam Cole returns. We're seeing that now. Great storytelling. I won't lie, too. Like Adam Cole, MJF, it's the only shit my girlfriend's ever liked in AEW. The only thing ever where it's like made her laugh or popped her, where she's like, this is cool, was them doing like their friendship stuff. You know what I mean? So they're going to do good work overall. But you got 1,700 people in a fucking 17,000 seat building or whatever. Awful breaks it down. We got Moxley as the new world champion. Nobody is safe. So we saw him driving in the back of a pickup truck. God forbid. Hopefully he doesn't have a white hood and and a noose or anything in there. Nobody's safe. Meaning who? I think there's one particular section of the AEW roster that isn't safe. And Jesus Christ. Hopefully Moose Knuckle isn't driving that goddamn truck. Yeah. Moose Knuckle's driving Neo Moxley's truck right now, okay? Yeah. I gotta smoke talking about this shit. Yeah, Moose Knuckle. I'm trying not to get in trouble too, right? So nobody's safe. Yeah, okay. So then we got Benjamin and Leo Rush. Okay, so MVP comes into the company. He tries to recruit Swerve and Nana. Well, not really Nana, but Swerve. He tries to recruit Leo Rush. He tries to recruit Monet. So if Triple H did this, they'd call Triple H a racialist. MVP himself came out and said, nah, Triple H isn't a racialist. I don't think that at all. You guys are missing the bigger point of what I'm saying. Nobody's criticizing AEW for doing the same shit that WWE gets criticized for. Leo Rush is like, nah, I don't want to be in your guys' faction. And I thought he was just in Top Flight randomly, but I guess no. And then Leo Rush signs a contract after last time he got fired from tweeting out, apologize now, Tony Khan, over Big Swole. But I guess it's all good now. And Leo Rush is going to take on Shelton Benjamin. So this will be a solid match. But again, it's like, Okay. Like he's so much smaller than Benjamin. There wasn't like a real dude. I not that Leo isn't a real dude, but you guys know I'm all about we need a junior heavyweight division. Benjamin couldn't have come in and fought like. But then I guess I'd be bitching like, oh, he comes in and beats this guy. So maybe Leo Rush is a good win for him, but he's going to go 50-50 with him. Leo Rush is going to get all his shit in. I don't want to see Benjamin. I want to see the Hurt Syndicate come in and beat some fools down, the beatdown clan style, and then take on a guy who takes you to the limit, So, and Leo Rush, I want him to be in the Hurt Syndicate because he used to manage Lashley and that shit was great. We have Azúcar, Rocky Romero, Orange Cassidy, and Kyle O'Reilly, the conglomerate, taking on Okada and the Young Bucks. Who cares? That is the worst match ever that no one's going to give a shit about. Mark Briscoe's on screen, and he has a Ring of Honor title with a camo belt behind the plating. Tony Khan collecting more belts. He made that to add to his collection. And then we get Jay White versus Christian Cage, which is going to cook. It's going to cook. Chefs in the chat, please, for Christian Cage and Jay White. Oh, we better be at 100 likes, bitch. 92? There's 211 of you watching. 8 of you. Hit the goddamn like button, please, you sickos. I'm going to put a poll in the chat. And I'm going to ask you guys, does Bobby Lashley debut tonight? And FTR's here. Okay. Yes. No. And thank you for the chefs in the chat. Yeah, because that is going to cook. You guys are like, I don't think so. No, it's going to cook, man. It's going to be awesome, but there's going to be shenanigans at the end, and probably Jay White loses. George Capture for $2 says, need 9 more to get to 100. Yes, please, get to 100 likes, you bastards. We're like 8 away now. So listen to George. George always knows. You ain't hype for $5 says, Tony can't keep WWE out of his mouth. Yeah, that ain't the only thing he can't keep out of his mouth. Pause. No diddy. Why not put them in the comics with their former champ? The best guys, Tony Khan. Yeah, bro. It's no rhyme or reason, And they put him in there with the NXT title, like, and that's AEW's bad too. They didn't think, oh, let's send them a belt, or like the DC writers didn't think, let's contact them and figure out what the belt looks, or they couldn't have typed in AEW champion. They just typed in Swerve Strickland, and he's more famous from WWE, so a picture of him with the North American title comes up probably, and it's a botch all around. It's terrible. Thank you so much for the $5. You ain't hype, but yeah, run those up to 100 kisses, and there's 200 of you, so might as well run them up to 200. No, you fucking haters. There's really 100 haters watching the show every week. I don't think so. You sick bastards. Big Bill's coming out. We like Big Bill, but okay, so I'm gonna smoke some Perry Pack in Minecraft. I'm gonna sip some Red Bull, and then we're gonna review NXT. Let's review NXT. Might as well. WWE NXT results. And guys, this Saturday is my birthday. If fucking baby boy is home by then, which I think he will be, birthday bash. I'm still getting lit. He's gonna have to get used to a drunken father. I'm just joking. But no, I don't know. I'm gonna eat some cheesecake, hop on the air, and we're just gonna talk some shit as well on Saturday. Birthday bash live stream, and it'll be definitely just a shitload of bookmarks, and I'm not watching anything in particular. And I'm going to throw the link out to like 100 people, and it's going to just be complete chaos. So make sure you're here for that too. I think that's only when I'm on. The haters come out. Yeah. Jake, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man? No smoking around the bed. Yeah, dude, don't worry. I'm not an asshole, and I got that all figured out. Don't worry. Your boy Phil's got that. My office is my sanctuary, okay? So do not worry. Yeah. And I don't be smoking cigs. That shit's nasty, you know. I just smoke the Perry pack, the good leaf, the good herbal. I am indigenous. We like to pass the pipe. You guys know that. So yeah. And yeah, it's going to be fun times, man. I'm looking very much forward to it. But yeah, speaking of which, so we got Brian Keith. I'm a big fan of Brian Keith. Honestly, I am. Should he be in the learning tree? I don't know, but it's an opportunity for him. Won't knock that. You guys know I love FTR, even though Dax fucking blocked me. And yeah, Big Bill. I like Big Bill too. So look for this to be a solid tag match as it has been so far. Thus far, you know. And all these guys are believable. Like they're all big. They all have like big enough. They have muscle. They know how to work. So fuck yeah, you know, solid match. Hopefully it just doesn't go 30 minutes. You know, that's my only criticism that they'll get from me is if it goes for too long. Cut the cord party. Yeah, that's disgusting. I refuse to do that. And sorry. Lincoln Hawk for $5 says, if you ever do a comic show, I'm in. Courtney should play Meltzer. Cora Jade is my only thirst. Oh, you're just knocking them all down. Yeah, I was thinking of maybe doing something, launching a channel where like I just talk about like YouTube stuff, pop culture stuff, but not so much like I don't give a fuck about like She-Hulk sucks, man. I don't fucking, there's 800. I don't care about that. Obviously it does right now. We know why, you know, but it's like, I don't know, just cover like YouTube / like comic book stuff / just other things not wrestling related. I'm thinking about it. So thank you so much. Corny should play Meltzer. Yeah. No, dude, his fucking brain would explode trying to wrap his mind around how to even rate a 4-star Richter scale rating. Cora Jade is my only thirst cast. Yeah, she's nice. To me, Vaquer and Julia are just like, and then they did the segment on NXT. We'll talk about it with Nikita, Lola Vice, and Jada Parker. Like, they know what they're doing. They know what the fuck they're doing with segments like that, chat. You're going to smash dad life. Yeah, bro. I'm going to crush it. I'm a kid at heart, so I'm never going to grow up myself. So, yeah, it'll be fun. Much love, bro. Dude, much love to you, Lincoln Hawk. Thanks for being here all the time. Thanks for supporting. Fucking love ya. And Lincoln Hawk too. I'm gonna make you a mod in the Discord there because I know you keep an eye. You know, it's not about being super active in the Discord; it's just about being actively like watching what's going on in there. I need a couple mods. You know, so yeah. If anyone wants to volunteer for that, hit me up. Chef Michaels is cooking. Yeah, I'm gonna pull up the results right here. And I watched NXT right before it ended, and then I popped on air. That's why the pre-show was going a little long there because I was just finishing it up. So we head to Bleacher Report. I'm going to have a little smoky wokey as we watch this match, guys. Try and stay entertained. I won't play Jericho and piss you guys off. It's going to take me 1 millisecond here as I sit here. Trios match tonight. Yeah, we got man, does anyone have anti-aura? Everyone loves to throw aura around, but it's the truth. Like, you have Vaquer and Julia who have like infinite aura, a vortex of aura. You have Vaquer who just walks out, doesn't do shit in her entrance. She just puts the one up. But like, not like, you know, not like a bloodline, but just she does this thing where like she puts a one finger up. If you see on the thumbnail of this video, that's all she has to do. And it's just like, oh my God, she's a dime. And she's only 5 feet tall as well. People are saying she's like 5'2". She's only 5 feet, bro, on the nose. Crazy. So she's awesome. But then you look at the Bucks and it's like zero aura, dude. Fucking your lips retract into your skull from the zero amount of noise that happens when them or like Daniel Garcia come out. And where's these cowards like put Enzo and Cass back together? Cowards? Yeah, I'm calling out every federation. Put them back together. They were money, dude. So, I'm just hydrating soda water. I got a sparkling black cherry here, guys. Your lips retract into your soul. Yeah, exactly. So in a return to the Performance Center, October 15th. So yeah, dude, they were back in the Platinum era, the Performance Center. The new look, it's nice. I like that they're back in the studio and all that. I don't like the new look compared to the old one. NXT's my favorite show. You guys are probably like, Phil, you. I don't like it compared to the old yellow, bro. I'm not going to lie. Just the way it looked, the yellow and like the fruity pebble colors in there. But they are in the Platinum era. I'm not going to boo. It doesn't look like shit at all. Just personally, I like the look of the other one, you know? So this one will grow on me. It's already good. It's not like it's any different other than it's just like black and platinum, which I'm kind of like, very like San Antonio Spursy, you know. I like the more, you guys know, I like the colors, you know, like look at the PWT color scheme, you know. So that's just me. But either way, D'Angelo comes out, North American title celebration. Obafemi comes out, spins the wheel of scare or whatever it is. And then they're having a tables, ladders, and scares match for the title. This is how you have D'Angelo retain, by pulling the belt down and keep Femi strong. You know, you put him through 4 fucking tables, and then D'Angelo doesn't have to pin him. Makes perfect sense. Maybe someone comes out and screws Femi. Maybe someone from TNA. Maybe Hammerstone shows up again for the D'Angelo family, and something. And then we, you know, who knows? We don't know, but yeah, it was a good little opening. I'm not super into the D'Angelo family, you guys already know, but I get it. Stephanie Vaquer takes on Ren Sinclair. Now, Vaquer has great music. Or look at her in this photo, like just diming it up. She's 5 feet tall, has size though, like on her body. Do you guys know? She looks like she works out. She pairs well with the girls they've been putting her in there with. Ren Sinclair, if you guys have been listening to PWT since episode 1, I've been putting over Maddie Renkowski, Ren Sinclair, since she was in AEW on Dark Elevation. I'm like, that girl's got something. Finally getting to prove that in WWE. Her selling, man, she makes people look good. She's never wrestled Vaquer before. Gets in there, and they have a fucking pretty good match where they're just like mat wrestling and shit. And that's the thing with Vaquer. They're saying she's the #1 luchadora in the world. I think I said she's of Mexican descent before. That's not true. She's Chilean. So I botched that. And her English isn't terrible. Like, she just gets on the mic and goes, "You challenge us, Halloween Havoc." Like, she beats Renkowski, but then Cora Jade and Roxanne Perez jump her, and then Julia comes out, makes the save. Julia too, just like infinite aura. They're gonna fight for this in this tag match. It's gonna be awesome. We're gonna get probably Vaquer versus Perez next for the title. I could see them doing something like NXT in Mexico. I don't know if their schedule is laid out yet, but NXT Mexico, you know, FTR gets the win, and then the Outrunners come out, and it's going to be them versus FTR next. Yes, push the Outrunners, buy their IP, and fucking get them. The FT Runners, they're calling them. So are they just on a team? No, like push the Outrunners as a tag team and get them to the titles and have them be the ones to beat the Bucks. Yeah, they have FT Runners on their trunks. So I guess they're just a faction now. So stupid. But yeah, guys, Vaquer is just amazing. Her in-ring ability is great. Her gear's different. She has a different look than all the other girls. So does Julia. And I can't put her over enough. Her and Maddie, there were a couple moments where it wasn't sloppy, but it looked like a real struggle. And that's what you want in a pro wrestling match. You want them to do cool moves, which they were doing, but you also want it to be a struggle. Another thing that should be noted, not only did Vaquer show up in AEW and have the match Monet wanted to have, because Monet's dream is, I want to go and do a Japanese style and also do a CMLL style. That's what she wants to do, is go and do like flips and rolls and all that kind of shit off, springboard off the middle rope, arm drag to whatever. Vaquer came in and just had a fucking wrestling match with Sinclair. You know what I mean? Her finish was pretty dope as well. It was just simple and nice. And she just had like a mat-based match. There was no like, springboard to the arm drag, reversal, float over that she did with Monet. So she can do that and carry a girl the level of Monet. But she comes in and has a match with like a girl who's not, I wouldn't even say Maddie's green. Maddie's light years ahead of where she is age-wise and everything. And that's why she's perfect for this role. I'm telling you, Maddie, or I keep calling her Maddie. Her name's Ren Sinclair. Ren is going to be like a Chelsea Green in our minds in the next 5 years to 10 years. We're going to consider her like, she can just do anything, tag team, heel, face, sell, do a job, get over, I'm telling you that right now. You heard it here first. I've said it a year ago as well, so this ain't breaking news, but Phil Scoop's got another one for you. Phil of the Future got another one for you. So now we have MVP approaching the Acclaimed. Again, giving the Acclaimed card. So MVP's rallying all the black talent together. This is his genius idea. He told everyone, keep watching. This is what everyone accuses Triple H of being a racialist for, is grouping them together. Meanwhile, MVP isn't, like, AEW won't get called the same energy. Get called out for having that same energy. Meanwhile, MVP, everyone tried to say, he thinks Triple H is a racialist. And yes, guys, I know I'm saying racialist. It's for YouTube purposes. But MVP is doing the same thing and came out and said, no, he's not a racialist. So there you go. Like, I got to point it out and beat everyone over the head with these points over and over again. And so that you guys are equipped for when the sickos come at y'all online, you guys know what to say. No, look at MVP. Look at what he's doing. Look at what you guys criticize WWE for. Where's the same energy? Look at what MVP said himself. Now, Monet is coming out to challenge, what's-her-face? Queen Aminata. Love Queen Aminata. Anyways, though, I'm going off here, chat. I will say this. I can't say enough good things about Vaquer, though, okay? Honestly, I can't. Even more so than Julia. I love Julia, but I think I'm more like Vaquer, man. And she showed and Ren, of course, I just blew her to death. I'm telling you, though, she's the next, like, Chelsea Green. Vaquer, though, can go and do the flippy shit with Monet and stand out, can go and have a match with, like, a whatever match on TV, look really good in her debut, and make it look real and believable, even though she's littler, right? And Renkowski's kind of taller. She's not like super tall, but she's sort of like lengthy, and I think that was a good person to pair her up with in her first match in NXT, because I'll tell you this, Renkowski did jobs with Jade and like teamed with Jade and stuff like that in AEW and looked like she fit there with her size. So if Vaquer can go in there and look good against, these girls, then it's because people were worried about her on the main roster. Do you think she'll be undersized? Nah, she's going to fit in perfectly. She showed that. So, and shout out Queen Aminata, a great talent and has a great look, gorgeous. And I'm glad they're pushing her more in AEW, but she's just here. They just bring her up to do jobs. She's in Ring of Honor all the time. They go, come on TV and fight our champion. It'll be great. And then she just loses. So that's not how you get people over. Queen Aminata shouldn't just get a title match. And I said earlier, not a title match. Good for AEW. No, it's a title match. Every time I say good for AEW, they prove me fucking wrong. We notice it every time, chat. So I apologize for saying good for AEW, because no, it is a title match, all because Queen Aminata was trying to say hi to Monet backstage and Monet didn't like that. So it's a fucking title match. That makes no sense, and it pisses everyone off. Whereas look at what they're doing. Julia comes in, gets a title shot, loses. Now they're going to tag team against Cora and Roxanne. And then when they win, that they'll have singles against Roxanne. Like, they're taking their time. You don't just, I don't know, fucking Aminata's just twerking on Monet's head. And although I'll watch that all day, everybody be doing that shit. Lola Vice and Nikita Lyons were twerking on each other in their match fucking Garcia be twerking that little booty like he's at a Diddy party in his matches. You know, we got the Ashton Chevalier for $5 says, anybody excited for AEW Turbo on CBS? The sickos are wish casting hard this week. What are you talking about? AEW Turbo on CBS. The sickos are wish casting hard this week. What is he talking about, chat? Someone explain to me what Ashton Chevalier is talking about. Turbo on. Are you making a joke? Is that a real show and I didn't bring the hot knees to PWT? When does, oh, you guys are just roasting. Oh, he's making, thank you. Yeah, okay. Because I was like, dude, is that a real AEW Turbo? When does AEW Sparkles and Sunshine? We need Queen Aminata in NXT. Yes. Yes. And we need Athena in WWE on the main roster is what we need. Too. Thank you so much for the super chat. Dummy Phil didn't understand that you were roasting. I pulled a Chris Connor and oh my god. Oh my god, it's a joke. A wet dream, yeah. A wet wrestle dream, a weddle dream. It's great. So, and then, yeah, to talk about that, I gave my thoughts if you guys didn't hear it. Oh, and if you guys didn't watch the podcast with Duke, he took a dookie all over SRS and SGW Uganda, drop bombs. It's so funny. He's like, yeah, this guy's an international crime lord. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, I do comedy. Like, hopefully they're not mad at me, but we're all good. PWT Universe got my back. I know, but I'm like, Jesus Christ, we're going deep here, folks. But hey, that's what I do. I talk about the real shit. That's what I mean. And that's what I meant earlier too. I didn't mean to shit on that one podcast. That new because I love O'Shea and everything, but it's like you're never gonna get all the realness. Like I just interview, like I'll interview people who hate me too. Come on, none of them want to come on, you know. You never get all the shit. I cover all the shit. No one covers all the shit. A lot of people are scared right now too. I know behind the scenes I get thanked a lot, like, yo, people are scared to talk about, or people don't think it's funny to do that. And I'm like, well, fuck them, you know. We dive into really what the IWC is, you know, and what everyone's talking about, you know. So yeah, I just appreciate you all for it's working. My plan has worked. We're growing. We're almost at 5,000 subs too. So if you're not subbed, please. I know it's like a burden. Like a lot of people listen to YouTube, they don't sign in and shit. Just consider like making an account and just clicking that like and hitting subscribe too. That'd be amazing. Appreciate it. The Rabble Wolverine LC Killer 17 for $2 says Power Rangers are better sellers than Will Ospreay. Yeah. Dude, I fucking love the Power Rangers. Y'all have no idea. I grew up on that shit. I love the Power Rangers. Like I don't watch it to this day, but I will sometimes peek in on what the comics are doing, or, you know, I hear about it, and yeah, I love it. But yeah, they sell better than the Ospreay is like a terrible seller. Just these days, especially. I don't know. Just throwing that out there. That's my biggest criticism of him. He doesn't sell enough. It's just really like getting his shit in, which is like you've been getting your shit in for years. Chill, you know. Aminata and Monet like having a solid WWE style match, it feels like thus far. Camille is getting involved too, which is fine. Nobody's been made to look dumber than Camille in any capacity as a heater. Anyways, though, yeah, Ren and Vaquer throwdown, whatever, solid match, beatdown. I covered that to death. They had a gentleman's duel, Lexis King and Oro Mensah. So the rules of the gentleman's duel was all violations will result in a DQ. So can't strike opponent when they have 4 points of contact on the ground. So, God damn it. They're taking this from UFC, right? They got rid of this rule in UFC, and everybody complains about this rule. Like, you're not allowed to knee a grounded opponent in the head, but they're trying to eliminate this rule from MMA. So WWE, like Shawn Michaels, call your boy Phil up, and I'll I'll sharpen these gentlemen's duel up if this is what you want. But the 4 points of contact on the ground is the dumbest fucking rule. One of the dumbest rules that they're trying to get rid of in MMA in everywhere, you know? Because some countries have different, there's like unified rules. There's like the ABC rules of MMA. There's all these different rules, right? So, yeah, we're trying to get rid of that. So please, no more of that. But you can't strike an opponent. Oh, I already said that. Can't throw opponent over the top rope into the floor. That's old school wrestling. I'm okay if you want to bring that back sometimes. Okay. Can't throw opponent. Oh yeah. Competitors have until the referee's count of 3, not 5, to break when in the ropes. Okay. And then there's absolutely no fighting on the floor. Kind of dumb. But either way, they did all this so that, because Oro Mensah is really fucking good, man. This guy, these metaphor, like I've always liked Noam Dar, but this whole group has won me over a lot. And Oro's a tremendous worker that will get his flowers one day soon. I think he's right where he should be in NXT, but wow, he's good. He really won me over this match. Lexus King, though, great stuff. And yeah, they put all these rules in so that King could get the win and still be a slimy shithead. Like, oh, he'd probably lose a normal match, but, you know, and he's a prick, so he wins the gentleman rules. Lola Vice and Nikita Lyons, decent match. Wasn't the best match. Lyons doing her thing. They're both twerking on each other. We talked about it. Lyons gets the win over Vice, which to me, I'm like, damn, I thought Vice was getting called up sooner than later, but nah, she's there still grinding away, you know, and good for her, you know. Vice, yeah, mostly she's the vet here. Nikita's still pretty fucking green. And then she comes out, she like dances and then does kung fu and then does the nunchucks. And it's like, just pick one thing, you know, pick one thing. Don't just be, I don't know. It is what it is. I love Nikita though. I'll watch. And then Jada Parker came out. Damn. She's her. We know. Ridge Holland versus Riley Osborne feuding over the whole Chase U stuff. Andre Chase returns after getting beat down. He's going to get a match with Ridge Holland eventually. This was what it was. Brooks Jensen with Sean Spears. Took on Ashanti the Adonis. And Carmen Petrovich showed up. And Ashanti's just hitting on all the girls. And then Brooks Jensen had a match with them. Jensen wins. And he, you know, what's his face is putting together a faction, it seems like, while he's hurt. His arm's in a sling, Sean Spears, and he's putting together a. And sorry, guys, I'm a little distracted if you can't tell. Aminata's botching the, and not to put it on her, but she botched the backstabber. It looks like shit. Monet went to the backstabber crossface finisher. She's not using her normal finisher as much because it looks like shit. But I don't know. That finish was sloppy. The crowd was flat for it. No one gave a fuck. Shout out Aminata. She needs NXT. And Monet is just having sloppy finishes to all of her matches. I'm not going to lie. Moving along. Jey Uso came to Yeet with the NXT champion. We got Ethan Page versus Wesley versus Javon Evans. And Ethan Page wins a great fucking solid match. And again, he gets his shot at Trick Williams for a three-peat. I think Trick beats him, and then they go to Ethan Page goes main roster. I see Ibu Wrestle Purist shitting all over NXT. I just wanted to be good, man. Nobody asked for Ethan Page. Yeah, we did, you fucking idiot. If this was AEW, you'd be like, Ethan Page is a money player. But because it's NXT, you're like, this is shit. No one wants this. What do you mean? Literally, Ibu's a bootlicker. That is the fucking, he's trying to get a job so bad. And MJF pops into his fucking spaces and his little live streams. And that's why he just licks ass, you know, because MJF shows up, you're going to really shit on NXT. And what did I tell you guys? The narrative, the initiative of these dirt sheets, Meltzer, they all know the talking points to say right now is shit on NXT, shit on NXT. Don't watch fucking Trick Williams. You know, I see Pro Wrestler Counselor and stuff being like, yeah, it's the blackest show. You think Ibu would support it? Not that like you're a black dude, you have to support a show with all the black, but what does Alfred Konuwa call it? African NXT, right? And like, I don't know, Ibu's just hating on that. Not that he has to like fall in line and like this thing. He's entitled to his opinion, but I told y'all, what are the dirt sheets going to say? They're all going to, this is falling in line and doing this opinion because they're all supposed to shit on NXT right now. Or just want it to be good. Everyone thinks it's good. Now, the majority's not always right, too, in life, folks. We know that. The majority's not always right. Okay? We know that. But when it comes to, like, consuming things, the majority will fucking tell you what the best shit is. Period. Because we can measure it with data, however you want to call it. Okay? Chat's going off. So those are my reviews. Those took a little longer than I had intended. But we'll get into some AEW news now. Private Party and the Bucks are interacting again, and it's like, who gives a fuck? We just saw that. Stokely's back here. And yeah, so we're in the AEW news right now, and Awful Wrestling was kind enough to post the card. And he posted the tickets distributed 1,978. And the amount of people in this that can fit in this building is 17,500. And then, of course, the GIF here. It's at 3K. I used the arena setup for the 18%. I was talking about tickets distributed. They're at 3,000 now. You're right. I see the AEW WrestleTix posted an update. Yeah, sure, but awful. They did hit the 3K, but still 3K out of 17,000. And then Dave Meltzer said the funniest shit. I can't wait to roast him. He's like, I have this new idea. They should run smaller buildings like they did at the thing. And it's like, bro, Dave Meltzer listens to PWT Confirmed, but I have this new idea. Do you see how he gaslights and lies to his audience? I will never lie to you guys. If I didn't come up with it first, I'm not going to fucking say. Actually, I do say, like, this person listens to PWT Confirmed, obviously joking. Meltzer's like, I came up with this new idea. What new idea? You mean the idea I said 2 years ago on Twitter, you fucking idiot, that you blocked me for, you know? You mean that idea? Dave's such a dummy. Here, I'm going to Red Bull up here. Oh, I knock him down. Get some Mountain Dew. Gymnast Brian Alvarez hates flipping gymnasts on NXT, but lives it. Yes. Oh, sorry. But loves it on AEW. Swallowed down the wrong pipe there. No diddy. Pause. Also things he shit on TNA. He loves in AEW. Exactly. You know, Matt and Nick touch swords on it. Yes, that idea, Phil. I'd rather be watching Venom Last Dance. Yeah, and that looks like shit too. So they sold 3,000 tickets, but like, who gives a shit? It's a 17,000 person building. So we're going to get into Meltzer, all that dumbness. Don't worry. We got AEW hot news though. I'm going to get through. Perry Pack, hold up. A lot of these videos are saved in here for later purposes as well. Oh, over on Patreon too, I watched the NFL Presents Tony Khan thing. I also am watching the entire first season of WWE Tough Enough. And yeah, I'm going to EFAP it with you guys over on Patreon. So make sure you, and other cool stuff too, you know, really cool things that I watch along, give my 2 cents on, and also early access to stuff. So I have some scripted content coming out. Patrons will get early access to that as well. And I just try and do something different for Patreon just because it's like a different thing. And I don't know, it's another way to support. It's a way to support anything that I have to clip out of the live show as well. That's worth it. Like me laughing at Aubrey Edwards. We get Don Stevens all the time. It'll be over on Patreon. And make sure you get the Discord. Come hang out with us. Discord people always know about everything first, other than baby Marks, because that was, I wanted to save it for the show. That was wife Marks's idea. So here, let's listen to this classic right here while we...
You'll be in 2 places at once. It'll be a lot like my favorite movie, Time Cop. So great.
Time Cop coming to the soundboard soon. Okay, so we covered this too, right? Like where the ref pushes her shoulder down. I don't know if we covered this one. Okay, Okada, Jack Perry, and the Bucks are on screen, and you could not have a fucking like this is their wrestling company. These are the guys with their belts. You look on screen, and like half the audience could beat up fucking 3/4 of this group. And damn, so Jack Perry's just randomly calling out Kenny Omega, so he's gonna show up and beat their asses eventually, too. But they just look like babies, man, other than Okada. And he's just standing there, looks so out of place. And it's Kenny Omega's birthday. So they're like, happy birthday, Kenny. And they're dumping trash on a cake. They dumped livers and guts on a cake. So Kenny's going to come back in one-on-one with Okada and all that. Maybe he comes back tonight. That would be amazing. And Jack Perry's like, get well soon, Kenny, or die. And that's the thing, man. You turn on this show, and these are the fucking marks you got in here. Like, you couldn't have less aura, you know? I'm going to start using that word all the time now. No, just kidding. I hate that word, so I'm going to use it to death today and never again. But yeah, dude, did y'all see this? We're going to get Don Stevens, so look at this, though. Look at the ref puts Harley Cameron's shoulder to the mat for her. Do y'all see that shit? Oh my God. Then he counts the 3. He puts the AEW referee puts Harley Cameron's shoulders down to the mat for her.
1 and a chain.
Do you guys see that? My word. So then when Remsburg, remember he pushed Danielson's legs or whatever, he pushed Jack Perry's. Oh no, I explained what happened. Yeah, you guys are told back there to touch the talent in pins and not call them like shoots. Even look at the Vaquer match from NXT. She did a trippy pin on Sinclair where Sinclair's shoulders were kind of up. So the ref stopped counting at 1, even though Vaquer was like flexing and stuff. And then the commentator was like, oh, it's like a pin, but it's also somewhat like a hold. And Vic Joseph covered for it, but you call it like a shoot. It's so stupid, man. This guy puts her shoulder down for her. Like, what the fuck is going on? And why do the Young Bucks come out to Stardust's old music?
Dummy, yeah.
I'm losing my mind. I need some soda water. So Wrestle Purists post, it had been indicated that Bryan Danielson specifically wanted to lose to Moxley to end his full-time run. Fightful Select. And that's obvious Danielson gets to pick who beats him anytime. Anytime if they're like, hey, go out there on Dynamite and lose to whoever. Danielson can say no anytime. So obviously. But I told y'all, if these dirt sheets are right, we are talking about Ibu and Sappy Poo here, but if they're right, your boy Phil was right. I told y'all. Because it's the only person that makes sense in AEW. So there were definitely some people in AEW that pushed for Private Party to win the AEW tag titles this week. And that would have been stupid, you know? In my opinion, like, there's not enough story there yet. They're still perceived as jobbers. We just saw them getting beat up by Marina Shafir, who's a girl. You fucking dummies. Yeah. So. But then again, Marina Shafir in real life could beat up both Young Bucks at the same time, guaranteed. Matt and Nicholas Jackson pop me here, though, and go, that doesn't work for us, brother. So that's pretty funny. And what's funny is that we even just had the Outrunners and FTR do like a Hulk Hogan pose off and do like the Mega Powers handshake. So it's funny how Hulk Hogan isn't welcome in AEW, but his taunts and mannerisms and all that no selling people's finishers and shit is welcome there. But his politics and business practices are, you know, they should bring Bischoff and Hogan and friends into AEW at this point because it would be better than whatever the fuck they've been doing. No, but this match is chill. Just this faction doesn't matter, and no one gives a fuck about Okada anymore. And look, he doesn't lay his shit in anymore. Like, he's just lazy now. He's just living that millionaire life and phoning it in, I swear. Am I wrong, Chad? Is Okada washed, Chad? Is he washed? Y'all tell me. I think he's fucking washed, bro. I think he got fucking $8 million and went, I'm just chilling now. Because like his body don't look the same. He moves way slower. He doesn't lay his shit in. He doesn't really do anything. Maybe he's just discouraged by the fucking, he's like, I'm just doing this for the money, y'all. And then you have like Cassidy. And now I do like that they have O'Reilly and Cassidy and these guys teaming like all the time. We do see them in all these different multi-man matches, but I don't know. It's just kind of stupid how this is a faction in the first place. But yeah, O'Reilly and Cassidy doing good tag stuff. But like, why? Imagine you go from doing Undisputed Era shit. You come into AEW. You're in a dumbass storyline with the Elite. It all falls apart because Bobby Fish and you get fucking severely injured. You're out for like 2 years. You come back. You're Kyle O'Reilly. Now you're teaming with fucking Cassidy. And like, that's what you got to do. I just think that's fucking silly, man. I don't know. I just think that's insane. And he would, I don't know, man. Just to think like, what happened to Roderick Strong versus O'Reilly? That match just came and went. Like that should have been a whole 6-month fucking story being told. O'Reilly, Adam Cole's back and being a good guy. Why isn't O'Reilly aligning with him? Well, we've been there and done that, Phil. Yeah, sure. Here's the thing, though. It's what makes sense in the company. It doesn't make sense that O'Reilly would just be teaming with fucking this random faction of guys. Cassidy goes for the 10 punch, does the 1 punch, and then the crowd pops. That was actually a good little spot there. The Ashen Chevalier for $5 says Tony Khan is firmly against anyone that got filmed nailing his friend's wife. Oh my God.
The best guy is Tony Khan.
Oh my God. What friend? Whose wife? Oh, right. Brit and fucking, yeah, I get it. Jesus. Thank you for that super chat, but I don't even know. I don't know what to say to that. So harsh. Harsh cast. Dude, they're doing this ugly, slow triple team spot. I'm so sorry. I can't help. Like, you guys know how much I love cringe. You got Rick Knox there, just the most worthless referee in fucking human history. He's letting them do a post. A post. He's letting them post up and like do a taunt while he's counting, and he's at a 3 and he just stops counting. 1, 2, 3. Okay, I'm just done counting now, and I'm not gonna count anymore. And these guys can just fucking taunt for 10 minutes, and I'll just post up here in the corner and stand here with my hand in the air and look like a fucking idiot. It's so stupid, man. It's so bad. The only people, too, who react for the Bucks are cheering for them. And, like, that's the opposite thing. You don't want people cheering for them. They're the slimy heels. So it's just these, like, Hot Topic Bucks fans. And that's what's killing the goddamn company and possibly the business. Sorry, I'm going off today, chat. I'm on one. I'm on 2 Red Bulls and some soda water. Shout out Private Party. Following Wrestle Dream, all of AEW's champions are heels. So we got heel Moxley, we got heel Mariah May, we got heel Monet, we got heel Bucks, heel Takeshita, heel fucking this goof, heel Whitepool Combat Club, and then we got heel Okada. This is AEW's champions. Hilarious. Hilarious. Look at WWE. A perfect mix of heels and baby faces, right? Look at here, all heel champions, and you wonder why. You want to tell me heels and baby faces don't work?
The best guy is Tony Khan.
And you want to tell me long-term booking doesn't work? You short-term booked yourself into having all heel champions, and I guarantee Tony didn't even realize this. And it's fucking stupid, and you can't tell me heroes and villains doesn't work. That's precisely why WWE's red hot. You can have some tweeners, but you got to present good guys and bad guys. It's just the classic storytelling trope. In every single story told ever, there's heroes and villains, okay? And You cannot tell me that having them all now, it can't be a trope like the heels are dominating. Yeah, do you have like a heel faction? But you got all these belts, no one cares about half them, and it's all heels, man. You got nobody. The crowd has nobody they can look to as like their hero, the guy defending his belt and fighting through the horde of villainy or anything. You have nothing. You have nothing. And yeah, this is just proof in the pudding of no storytelling, no like conscious effort put in for long-term anything. Where are we going to be in 6 months? You know, who's our hero? Like, who's the guy everyone's looking up to? Hologram doesn't have one of these belts. Like, that's what the TNT title should be for. Not a goof like Jack Perry. For someone like Hologram, who's just having banger TV matches with luchadors and whatever, you know, I don't know. However, they have no identity. They don't know what they want to be. And they're just a villain company. It's exactly this. They're hated. And the champions reflect that. The champions reflect where you are as a company. No identity. You have this Neo Moxley guy. You got this Stardom girl doing HLA. You got Monet doing cosplay, Joshi, luchadora shit. You got the Bucks that like, you know what I mean? Come on. You have Takeshita, who's super legit, but he's like a dirty heel now, and they're just pulling the trigger on him. It feels out of nowhere and a little too late. As far as AEW is concerned, but hopefully he has a long reign with this title. But they should have did it when he was like the baby face guy everyone was getting behind after his Kenny Omega win. I digress. You have Jack Perry, who just people turn the show off for. No one wants to see on TV, and he's your TV champion, right? You have the fucking Whitepool Moxley Club that, again, people just aren't connecting with, and nobody wants Yuta. And you have no trios division anyway, so why you just put belts on these guys? Because, and then you have Okada that, again, is just a shell of himself. He's the Continental Champion. What's the difference between that and the International Championship? Why didn't you just have Takeshita have whatever, like, why do you have those two different belts? Makes no fucking sense. And yeah, he's just a shell of himself, it seems like. And they're all heels. So you can't tell me storytelling doesn't work. You can't tell me that the style of wrestling doesn't work, because the proof is in the fucking pudding. No one wants to watch this shit. And yeah, if you had like a cohesive faction like Evolution and they win all the belts and it's like a power trip angle for a while, okay, it makes sense. But you're scattered. You have one crew that's invading. You have another crew that's invading. And then you have Takeshita, Monet, and fucking Mariah May. And then Monet's got two belts, and it's like, what? I don't know. There's just no rhyme or reason to anything, it feels like. And this is sort of proof of that. And I could rant on this all day. Get it together. Give us some fucking heroes. And then what's to come next? Oh, well, all the heroes will uprise, Phil, and take all the belts. Okay, then you have all babyface champs. We don't want that either. It's got to be a perfect blend, and it doesn't always have to be 50-50. But the problem is that at this last show, you put key titles on heels, or like you had key titles defended from, you know? So it's just difficult, man. It's difficult to get behind. And none of these people, like, I'm sorry, people don't like the Moxley thing that he's doing. Although Moxley, like, I get it. He's and then you have Yuta dressed like Mox. So he's cosplaying Mox. He's dressed like mini Peter Griffin, and he's attacking Orange Cassidy. So now we're going to get Bumbaclot Club versus the Conglomerate. And that's what tried to tell me, disciplinary committee tried to tell me on X. He was like, yo, Danielson's going to come back and put over Yuta as well. No, like that's what the smart thing to do would be, to try and get someone else over. But no, that's not going to happen. Look, they're just going to beat up the Conglomerate. And then next we're going to get Conglomerate versus the Whitepool Club, you know? And then here's the Elite guys. Are they all going to join forces? Like, somebody in the AEW news, I'm going to play you guys, like someone made a TikTok or like a video explaining what AEW is doing right now and what story they're trying to tell. And if he's right, then okay, they might actually do something brilliant here with all of this. We'll get into that in a minute, but literally Yuta's dressed like Moxley was dressed 2 weeks ago with the green pants and that. and the white shirt, and then he's jumping Cassidy, and it's like top flights out here now fighting these guys. And yeah, we'll get into it next because we're theorizing, we're talking about the problems with what's wrong with AEW, and I think having no babyface champions right now is a fucking L. I do think it is an L. You need at least one that the kids can get behind and all that, as they say. But yeah, Whitepool, Combat Club's invading everything. And the Bucks are just sitting there letting it happen. And Okada, why would they go and help? Maybe is it like Okada and Bucks babyface turn where they eventually go, yeah, we have to stand up for AEW. So see, it's the invaders, like the Bomba Clot Club invading, and then it's like all the OG AEW guys are coming out to fight them. So an interesting video somebody put up, and this could be what they're doing. And I want to play this for you guys right here. John Boy Bebop. I'm going to play this for you as this stuff pans out. And listen to what he has to say about AEW, what he theorizes, like what they're doing with AEW right now, which I disagree, because this would be a genius, smart thing, but this requires long-term booking, and Tony Khan doesn't believe in that shit. And also, I don't know, will he do the right thing? He never really does. So possibly, but like if the Whitepool Combat Club are just going to fight Dark Order and stuff, then that's fucking stupid. And I don't want to see them fight Cassidy. Like, no, everyone's over Cassidy and all that shit. But listen to this guy's theory.
This was one of the most genius endings I think I've ever seen. It's the very beginning of the story that I can't believe I couldn't piece together until now. Jon Moxley retiring Bryan Danielson saves AEW. Hear me out. This entire time, I and many others thought it's, it could be Shane McMahon. I thought it was Sami Callihan. Somebody's controlling Jon Moxley. Nobody's controlling Jon Moxley. Jon Moxley did this to save AEW. If Christian beat Danielson, what does that change? If Darby beat Danielson, what does that change? Because they're not willing to go to this length to change the entire locker room. Moxley is willing to put a bag over his best friend's head to scar the rest of the locker room, to make him the bad guy in all of these stories, because that is what will make Darby Allin step up to become world champion. That is what will change Orange Cassidy to become more of a serious and world champion contender. That is going to change Daniel Garcia. That is going to change Hook. That's going to change Private Party. All of the people that have been there since damn near or actual day one to become the best.
I disagree. See, if this guy's right, and this is a great theory because that's what's happening right now on the show. Like a bunch of the Dark Order and some of these day ones, But the problem is that Cassidy can't be more serious. And even if he is, even if he gets more serious, we won't get behind him. He's like 40. So you're going to build the company around these dudes? Like, yeah, Darby, Garcia, sure. But Garcia's whole story this whole time has been like, I'm a wrestler. No, I'm not, whatever. So that does fit into it. However, I think Tony Khan's dumb enough to just have his originals get jobbed and shit. And it'll be Lashley and them who, like, MVP's going to put together his faction. They're going to go to war and eventually be the ones to beat the Whitepool Neo Moxley clan. That's my opinion, because I just don't see Tony doing it as brilliant as this guy's laying it out. But even if it did go the way this guy's laying it out, unless you're talking like Wardlow, Hobbs, MJF, I don't think people want to see Cassidy and Darby. Like, the masses aren't going to get behind that. I'm sorry. So I like what this guy's saying, but he's talking about these guys he's talking about these dudes like they're like Benoit and Eddie Guerrero and Malenko and all of them in the OG WCW. You know what I mean? Like, they're not those guys, man. So the Bucks eventually may face turn as well, because the story is being told here like, you guys are letting this place go down in flames. Perry and Garcia squaring off. Who gives a shit? I mean, I don't know. Let's finish this guy's theory, but no one wants to see like Perry and Garcia feud, man. It's too little too late. It's too little too late, man. They didn't build any of these guys into fucking stars, and they're still bringing WWE people in.
Wrestlers that they can be. Bryan Danielson's not the main character of this story. It's Darby Allin. This is going to make Darby Allin world champion, I think, by World's End. Private Party are going to win those tag titles. Daniel Garcia is going to win that TNT championship. Hook is going to step the fuck up. Orange Cassidy is going to step the fuck up. Maybe someone wins a C2 here, and it's all because of what they just saw tonight. Mox knew that Danielson had to be sacrificed. And if this is the story that they're running with, it genuinely could be one of AEW's best stories ever told.
But it's not the story. Moxley wasn't like Danielson's been sacrificed. So maybe down the line, but Moxley just told everyone, like, everyone's on notice. So it has nothing to do with, like, Danielson had to be sacrificed, but maybe later down the line. I like that they're doing promo packages, though. They're doing more and more of them. Like, yes, we don't need as much match time. You know, and luckily none of these matches have gone on too long, I will be honest. And they're playing a promo thing for MVP, Benjamin, Swerve. So we're going to pay attention. I rage baited everybody by putting Lashley on the thumbnail, hoping that maybe he debut tonight, but there are rumblings he might. Okay, Layla Gray's coming out. She is fucking a dime. Oh, with Lio Rush. Great. So she's managing Leo. Here we go. Amazing. And yeah, she's managing people. She is just a 10 out of 10, but also she just dropped some new song. It was terrible. Not going to lie. But she was in OVW for a long time, and I was like, they need to fucking bring Layla Gray in. Like, early on, she was a baddie with Jade Cargill, which I thought they could have did so much more with that whole angle or that whole faction and stuff. And I liked it. But then out of nowhere, Layla Gray just kind of disappeared and they broke her off and she did her own thing. And I was like, man, you got to keep her on your roster. She was featured heavily on that Wrestlers documentary, you know, on Netflix. And then they brought her back to AEW, even though Al Snow buries fucking AEW all the time. And now she's managing Lio Rush, and she was managing Top Flight as well. And hopefully she stays like managing people, and she's great in ring as well. So Tony Khan just hired her up, maybe because she was on that documentary. I have no idea, but thank God she's got a job and is on TV. I'm okay with valets. Y'all know that. We're watching MVP come out. They're wearing Hurt Business colors like the Wakanda black and gold. We're going to pay crazy good attention to this match, chat, okay? And Benjamin. Oh, I got a bunch of super chats too. Sorry, guys. I've been locked in. Am I ranting and raving here? And Benjamin, though, his music's pretty decent. Graphics are looking cool on the come out. He looks like $1 million. Just look at Lio Rush, though. He looks like a small child next to Benjamin. The Ashen Chevrolet for $2 says, and people think AEW heels is just for the ladies. Yeah, dude. Great. And apparently Aubrey Edwards runs AEW heels now, which is, you guys know. Come on. Thank you so much for the super chat. Pete in Texas for $2 says, problem is that it will be Adam Cole. Yeah, exactly. It'll be Adam Cole and former WWE guys. Like, in the end, the people who will finally vanquish them will be like when the Hurt Business is up and running in AEW. Dude, see, I just don't think Lio Rush and Benjamin, like on an indie somewhere, you pull up to an indie, it's like a local fed, you know, they do a good house, 200 people there, and you're like, dude, Lio Rush versus Benjamin, that's fucking sweet. But on TV, here though, Lio Rush will play this really good, like, but the problem is Benjamin's first match in AEW, just have him get squished. And have Layla Gray join MVP and be like the Hurt Business's valet or whatever. Boom, now we're cooking. Now we're actually, I don't know. I like her with Lio Rush in Top Flight, though. But either way, thank you, Pete in Texas. For $10, Wolverine DX, $10 Canadian, though. That's like fucking $6 right now in USD. If you know. We're the best wrestle. We're the best wrestle. I expected technical wrestling being the main focus, much like the TNA one between Gresham and Dempsey. If not, use style variation. Javon looks special in NXT. Wouldn't in AEW. Dude, if Javon was in AEW, it would be a fucking travesty. Thank God he never went there, dude. See, Benjamin looks special in AEW because nobody looks like a real dude like this in AEW. But you're right, man. TNA, I think when people go, there's a little bit of something for everybody. I think TNA is better at that than like anybody. Here's the problem too with AEW's production. They don't know when to zoom in and out. Like, so when Lio Rush is doing cheesy kicks and he's not really laying them in, you need to zoom out and give us like the hard cam side so we don't see it not connecting. Benjamin just does a jumping, leaping on the apron, step up knee and like falls back, and it was phenomenal. That looked amazing, dude. Thank you for the $2. And yeah, you're right, dude. Where the best wrestle is in WWE. I don't give a fuck. And that's the other thing. If you have to be like, where the best wrestle, if you got to tell us, it ain't true. You know what I mean? Thank you for the $10. Wolverine DX has been a member for 1 month. Round of applause for everybody here. Did we crush the 100 likes as well? We better have. I'm going to barf if we haven't. I will puke everywhere. Oh, yeah, we smashed it. 130 likes, 230 watching now. I'm going to end the poll. 66% of you don't think Bobby Lashley will show up tonight. We'll see, because we're around that time. Yo, it's about that time to bring forth the rhythm and the rhyme. That's coming soon, possibly. Maybe we get a package from him. Who knows? But yeah, 230 watching. Wow, you guys are amazing. Run the likes up to 200. That's the only time I'll ask it. In the third inning, Dodgers 2, Mets 0. There you go. Shelton should not sell a thing for Leo. He hasn't been selling really for him, you know? And he's kind of just whipping Leo around. And the commentary's so bad in AEW. There's like over 100 pounds. Yeah, honestly, though, this is the perfect style of match. Like, Benjamin's just whipping him around. He's kind of smiling at him. Like, what do you think you're going to do? And anytime he gets his hands on him, he just whips Lio Rush. And Lio Rush has got to do this quick flippy shit. But they're showing, like, Benjamin's such a vet. He's just cutting him off and stuff. Did a fantastic bump there. Lio Rush did into the turnbuckle. That was amazing. So yeah, I'm putting it over. Hopefully they don't fuck this up. But yeah, hopefully this guy's TikTok here is correct, and that's the story they're telling in AEW, but not with Garcia and them, you know. But that is the story. That is story-wise what would make sense, though, right? So I wouldn't be mad at that for them actually telling a story. And we have light AEW news today, guys. Light news. There's only one more. Speaking of Lio Rush, she drops a song called I'm All Elite. So catch a vibe.
Yeah.
It's like Diddy. This guy's like, yeah. You know, it's like, all right, when are you rapping?
Oh, yeah. I got time today.
Oh, yeah, he's got time. Leo Rush,
bitch.
He's Okada.
I'm all elite. Yeah. Who on the team? They switching up like they ain't forget about the past. Don't cover up. You ain't Lucha. Fuck 'em ass. Didn't you know that I grounded for this shit?
Don't cover up. You ain't Lucha. Fuck a mask. Bars, son.
Work too hard for niggas trying to block me off a list. I've been up since day one. Ain't no way you topping this. After I finish the song, you better believe I'm dropping this. Bangers after bangers, ready to drop it on their head.
After I finish the song, you best believe I'm dropping this.
Don't be hearing the haters, yeah, it's fuck what they said. It's fuck what they on. Can't stand them to the core. I'm banging on the door. This money is what I wanted more.
This money is what I wanted more. What you wanted more than what, Lio Rush? Remember when you told Tony Khan to apologize? And here's Awful Wrestling. It's yeah, he's talking about the ticket sales. My bad. Yeah, you want the money more than what?
I'm head to toe, blacksmith, didn't you know? Alarm went off 3 times, so I think it's time to go. I love all my fans, they gon' meet me at the show. They gon' let a nigga know. They can tell a nigga cold. Heard that boy drop a song, yeah, it's good, I suppose. Leo, where you get that fit? Check the tag on the clothes. Where are you going next? Check the map around the globe. What's all over your neck? Is it ice? Is it froze?
Does he rap like that all the time? Because that's fucking. Hopefully he gets hype on some shit. That's too like laid back. And I don't know. Shout out Leo Rush, I guess. He is all elite. This match is going too long now. Benjamin should have cleaned this dude up way quicker. Back into Philmark's bookmarks. We're talking about Meltzy Seltzy because he said some dumb shit. And we're watching this match. Fucking Leo's hitting dives. Come on, man. So we're going to get into all this here. Don't worry, we're going to play flutes. I'm just watching this match, guys. So I'll call it. Pete in Texas for $2 says I'm wrong. I now think it's Eddie. Oh, no. Yeah, you guys are right. Eddie Kingston's going to come back. God, I didn't even. And then him versus Mox. Oh, man. God damn it, dude. Yeah, that's right, too. I completely forgot about. And then like Kenny. Kenny's not. I like Kenny. You guys know that, but fuck. I didn't even think about that. Pete in Texas. Eddie Kingston. For $7.27, Pliny and Pixel Art says, here's 10 Canadian dollars. Oh my God, you asshole. So I was right, Plinian. I was like, that's like $6 right now. You go, here's 10 Canadian dollars. You son of a bitch. Oh my God. That's so funny. And then, yeah, I mean, YouTube takes their cut too. So it's not quite, you got to figure out the maths on that to make it precisely 10. But that's hilarious. You looked that up and sent that in. Fucking Trudeau. We have an election coming up, I think, soon too. And then, yeah, maybe things will change here because it's just we're going through the same type shit with like within America as far as like inflation and all that. You know, it's a bitch out there. So love each other, work hard, drink lots of water, and thank you for the 10 Canadian dollars. For 5 Canadian dollars, Shadow Badass shows not that many of the AEW wrestlers stand out because they wrestle the same and structure the match is way too similar. It comes across that way weekly. Precisely. One of the biggest issues, man. It's cookie cutter. They go to the limit. They're all going to get their shit in. It's going to go too long. Unless it's like a women's match, because Tony doesn't care about that shit. But I don't know. You're right. Like Will Ospreay's not special because you have a group called Top Flight where 3 of the guys in that group can do everything he can do. And then you have Kyle Fletcher who looks the same as him. So why, what makes him special? Right? You have Benjamin here. He looks special right now, but also the match is going way too long. Right? So they just signed Leo Rush. Why is he Benjamin's first opponent? You could have used anybody else. This is the perfect position for a Garcia or like a Yuta. Okay, he's, he can just job him really quick. It would make total sense. Instead of like, we just signed Leo, we want him to look strong, but he's got to get demolished by Benjamin because now he's just getting suplexed all around, eating super kicks. So, yeah, they just don't know how to build people, and they just make everyone go too long, so nothing special. Thank God that the Hurt Business, I guess, is coming into AEW. Like, hopefully Lashley brings some, like, eyeballs, and him and Benjamin make people go, like him and Benjamin versus the Bucks should be a no contest. Even this match here, too. They get away with a bit because it's Leo Rush. So you get away with a little extra. Thank you so much for the super chat. Ziggly Mustache for $7 Canadian says, first time, long time. What's up, dude? Congrats, Phil. Discovered you through Wrestling Soup. Awesome, man. From one Canuck to another, keep killing it. Can I get a Conan? You absolutely can. Thank you so much. Thanks for super chatting in and getting involved. Make sure you hit that subscribe if you haven't already. I have another channel where the replays go up. So as soon as this show's done, the replay will be at at Pro Wrestle Times, and also my podcast gets uploaded there. Consider checking and subscribing to that channel too if you haven't. And shout out Wrestling Suit, man. Love those guys. And yeah, I'll be linking up with them again very soon as well. Sooner rather than later. So yeah, MVP gives another card to Leo Rush. And yeah, thank you for the super chat. And appreciate you so much. Let's hear what MVP has to say. 135 likes. Yeah, crushed. George, we crushed. But there is 235. All I'm saying, we could hit 200 tonight. We could. Okay, Lashley might show up, so we're being quiet here. 66% of y'all said he wouldn't. Yeah, Shelton Benjamin Cook, though. That match was pretty dope. Like, I won't lie. So maybe the program is Shelton versus Swerve? Who knows? First, like before we get Lashley versus... Because if they're smart and they're paying Swerve what they're paying him, you gotta have him beat Benjamin. It's just my opinion. If you're betting on your own guys. MVP's just fire on the mic. Okay, this looks like real people in the ring now, dude. The standard of excellence. Yeah, I think everybody's jumping the gun and saying Lashley, Lashley. I think Lashley has a fight and we don't even see him right away. I don't think we see him right away. I think we see Lashley go and have a boxing match and he pops up down the line after Benjamin gets a push. But obviously you want Swerve to beat Benjamin. You got to. So I'd have Shelton walk through a few people and then you have Swerve beat Benjamin. But then when Lashley comes in, he fucking folds Swerve in half. That's how you have to do it. You know? Yeah, let's see. Who knows? Okay, guys, it is time for everybody's favorite moment of the week. And it is called, and I need flutes in the chat, summon the power of the flutes for everyone's favorite segment. And it is called Dave Meltzer's dumb moment of the week. Yes, we did it again. We did it again. We did it again. So Tony Hawk and Darby Allin are coming together for a special announcement. Let's see what it is. And then we'll play another flute. Sorry, guys. I've stepped fucking AEW doing interesting stuff during Dave Meltzer. So what are they doing? Like, what is the collab for? I just want to see. Are they doing like a skateboard or... So you get a signed, so they're just selling. Okay, well, that's a cool. Okay, so Darby Allin's linking up with Tony Hawk to do they have a signed 8x10 from both of them. And if you buy it, all the proceeds go to like the skate park project or whatever that Tony Hawk runs that gets skate parks built everywhere. Then they run like, they try and get people off the streets by doing whatever. Phil, you ain't hype, says Phil. Why not do the lives on PWT and the short clips on PWC? What say you, Phil Marks Kuhn? Sorry. See, people are going to crush me for saying that last word and you guys know, but that's how they say it in fucking animes. Jesus Christ. Well, now I'm not doing it anywhere. You ain't hype because I'm going to get canceled. No, fuck all that. Listen, so the reason is because I have way more subscribers on this channel. Do you understand what I'm saying? So when I launched the show, I was like, I need to get as many people as I can to watch it right away. And the other channel wasn't even at 1,000 subs yet. So like this channel was already like cruising past 1,000, monetized, all that stuff. Yeah, chat's probably like, but huge announcement, George says. Yeah. But yeah, I know I botched the last part. It's how they say it in anime. Okay. But anyways, that's why I don't do it over there. But this is, if you're a member on Pro Wrestle Times channel, you can, if you're a member, this is airing live on that channel right now as well. Right. And then immediately when this ends, I just make the replay live to the public. And then I get the hits over there for people who want to see the replay. And the reason I do that is because then hopefully I just garner more subs on that channel as well. Do you understand? So it's like there's a method to my madness, but I'm just trying to grow the other channel as well on YouTube. With people who, because there are people who just like to consume stuff in clip form. I'm a person like that as well. There's some pods where I have to listen to the full thing. Doesn't matter if it's 5 hours, 1 hour, 6 hour, 10 hours. I have to listen to the whole thing. And then there's some pods like Jim Cornette. I fucking love him and Brian Last Show. I always consume the clips. That's how I consume their show. I like hearing it not in order for whatever reason. I don't know why. But I listen to every clip, which is pretty much the whole show gets clipped, but I don't put on the 4 hour thing. And I don't know why. So yeah, that's why I do it on here, because if I do it on the other channel, not as many people I think will see it. I think there's enough of you who routinely watch it, but at the same time, like if I get 20,000 views on a video, on like a CM Punk video, you know, there's probably a lot of people who might not even know I go live that might have discovered me just today, you know? Like I drop some of these clips and it'll get me 12 subs just from one clip. Like I'm in the plus on subs every single day. So if I drop, let's say like a clip, and then maybe someone never knew that I go live until, you know, because they didn't see the other pod, you know, and the Pro Wrestle Times channel itself is like an RSS feed type thing. So whatever goes on there is on like the YouTube RSS feed, you know what I mean, as well. So it's like a podcast thing. I don't know. It's just a method to the madness. You guys don't want to hear me pull the curtain back and talk shop, really. You guys want to hear me botch words and get in trouble in the I'll die if it's a tournament of some kind. Stupid work meeting here in Australia. Keep interrupting me watching this. Great work again, Phil. Thank you, man. You guys are no Bobby Lashley. Nope. I was wrong. Let's get to 100 likes. Yeah, I'll leave that right there because Juan Salazar's asking, not me. And yeah. But PWT podcasts drop only on that channel in the full form, or you got to get it in the audio form. You know what I mean? And then this channel's YouTube only. And then if you use YouTube podcasts, you get the RSS feed for the live show. Otherwise, this doesn't exist on like Apple and everything either. Why? I don't know. Maybe I'm a dummy, but I'm a YouTuber as well. I consider myself a YouTuber as much as a audio podcaster guy. Swerves on the mic. This show's been formatted really well. I won't lie, guys. I've been distracted. I didn't get through all of my Meltzer shit as quickly as I thought either. Like I thought I'd be through the Meltzer stuff early on because we started early, but they're actually like doing packages and doing interviews and telling a story throughout the show. Like here's a package earlier about the MVP stuff. Okay, here's the Benjamin match. Now Swerve comes back after the break and he's going to respond to what they're saying. They're actually doing something here. So shout out AEW. They're going to throw it in my face because I'm putting it over, but kudos to them on what has not been a horrible Dynamite to sit through. Matches haven't gone too long. It's not your typical jabronis. Garcia and them ran out. That's it. You know, they just did like a run out and all got beat up. All the jobbers got beat up by Moxley. So I'm not mad at that. Shivani's bringing someone in. Don Callis. Okay, so we're going to see what happens here. I'm going to read some more news, and we're going to play a Dave Meltzer flute and go off on his ass. So the new Callis family is Lance Archer, Brian Cage. I think they have Takeshita as well. So again, they're going with guys who are like bigger, intimidating, real, like, you know what I mean? I'm liking it so far. I see Callis come out with Cage and Archer, and you're like, okay, who are they going to fight next? You know, we had the Young Bucks out there who suck, and they have to do the same old shit. So that was whatever, but yeah, I don't know. In the main event, man, Jay White and Christian, I'm looking forward to that. So let's see what Callis has to say. And then we're going to play another flute and do Dave Meltzer. Don't worry. Yeah, Julian Floyd, we covered that earlier. He's going to go to Saudi Arabia, get a big check, and then show up in AEW. Why are they filming in my office building? I assume it's empty. And there goes the ratings. Callis is calling out the journalists. Thank God. I'm not the only one. He listens to PWT confirmed. Yeah. It's funny because Callis is the one saying Conan too. Conan. And then Archer's doing like a emo Rhea Ripley type look. Oh shit, that's funny. Why wasn't the Moxley segment the end of the match? Yeah, they should have ruined the end of another Dynamite. And then people are like, what the fuck? Will Hobbs is cleared. Is he cleared to come back? Oh, shit. Why is Callis bleeding? He's not. That's a shoot scar, and it's just so bad that I have one like that on my foot. I dropped a blender, and the thing smashed and like sliced my toe, like real bad, like on my foot. And yeah, it looks like I have a scar like that, like Callis, where like I can still feel it. Like sometimes it almost feels like it's open to this day. It's so bad. But Will Hobbs is cleared. Thank God. If he's cleared, or if you're just talking shit, that's chill. Now, this faction is kind of cooking, though. Takeshita, Fletcher, you have Archer, you have Cage. So you got a bunch of like good-sized, intimidating dudes. Let's go. Like, actually do something with this. And then if Hobbs is back, Hobbs needs to go with Swerve. That's all I'll say. Working this year's G1 Climax did wonders for Takeshita. Yeah, Takeshita's honestly amazing. I stopped listening to Conan after the Meltzer interview. He kissed his ass the entire time. Did you then see the video where Conan fucking throws Disco under the bus after too? Because Disco's trying to ask him. Like, Conan just has a fucking meltdown, and he's becoming a lol cow in the IWC, man. I'm telling you. We're going to EFAP. I can't do the 5-hour meltdown. Check it out on your own time. I will tonight before we're off the air. I'm pulling up the fucking Conan. We'll do it right here. Keeping it 100. I'll pull up the Conan going off on fucking... Dude, he goes off on Disco. Because Disco's like, dude. He's like, why did you protect him and shit? And then I'll find it here. Here, I got it right here. This is what I don't get, though. I almost get as much views on my clips as the Keeping It 100. They got 62,000 subs. Like, get me up to fucking 50K, and I'll be getting, like, 30K views on each video I drop. I'm telling you guys that right now. But anyway, so share the channel around and all that. You guys are goated. Derek H. has been a member for 4 months. Round of applause to Derek H. Okay, so they're just putting over Kyle and shit, whatever. Let's get into Dave Meltzer, and then we will get into Conan burying Disco and just sticking up for Meltzer, which is fine to stick up for him, but Conan just doesn't get it. He's going to become a lol cow. He can't keep just going off on the internet and just looking so, like, he knows. He doesn't pay attention to the IWC, but Conan's supposed to know how to respond to Dave Meltzer if you're going to interview him, and Dave's just going to bullshit you for an hour. Problem. Callis family will lose to Ospreay and Ricochet. Exactly. Eventually, Ospreay and Ricochet will team up. That's what it all boils down to. For $5, thank you, Pete in Texas. And yeah, that's what it's boiling down to. I'm down with Takeshita being the international champ, but I said let him win that fucking tournament and win the belt. And then the Continental belt is trash too. And then Fletcher's like, you guys want to know why I did what I did? Too bad. Who cares? No one cares why you did what you did. Because you're teaming with fucking Callis and them. So I don't know. I'm just glad Archer's on TV. And let's see some guys win some tag straps, not just like ROH belts. I'm so sick of seeing ROH belts, but Athena can't get on TV. fuck is going on here, guys? Okay, Flute's in the chat because it is officially time for everyone's favorite time. And guys, by the way, I know for sure Callus is in this bitch for like he probably thinks Tony Khan's the biggest goof money mark ever. Anyways, though, and I never heard that from Callus, but I can tell you guys that I'm fairly confident he is there for the bag, and I would be too, man. Honest to God, if I was in the biz. Mariah May, yeah, it is time for Mariah May's favorite segment, and it is called Dave Meltzer's Dumb Moment of the Week. Okay, so Dave Meltzer believes fans aren't buying into AEW World Champion Bryan Danielson potentially retiring because of previous fake wrestling retirements. We covered this on the show before, but I just want to touch on this again. Yeah, nobody buys it because the way it went down, too. Danielson's going to come back. Everyone's going to go, yes, yes, yes. It's going to be an unsanctioned match with Moxley or some bullshit. We know it's going to happen. And he even said it. He's going to wrestle now and again, but people weren't bought into it at all because we just saw him get stretchered off. So it's just an epic fail. Zero credibility. So this is via Triple H, HHH Paul L. So he goes, zero credibility. AEW is a private company that hasn't opened its books, has lost money every year of its existence, spent over $100 million on payroll annually and rising, books the biggest empty buildings nationwide, spends six figures on licensed entrance music for multiple people, and lost over 50 million on a video game. Yeah, I heard it was like 80 million, like over 80 million for that game. But sure, more profitable than all those time frames Dave mentioned. Let's also account for inflation if you want it to sound even dumber. AEW is just printing money. Exactly. If you account for inflation and all of these things, Dave is talking out of his ass entirely, and it's all private. And the only way, like Eric Bischoff said, the only way he could know any of this shit for sure is if he owned a piece and had a daddy magic taste. Okay. Fright Night Dynamite in Cleveland, Ohio, 2 weeks away. Swerve versus Benjamin. Loving it, doing it. So Dave Meltzer says with a conservative model, factoring in no new international deals, and we've already seen a new one yesterday, and no additional TV deals. AEW, next year will be more profitable than the entirety of WCW's 13 years combined, then WWF from 90 to 98 combined, and WWE every year from 2017 to 2011. So think about like this goofy ass math he's doing. This one deal that's a multi-year deal for them will make them more profitable than WWE was in just 2011. No shit, you fucking scumbag.
You what?
Dave Meltzer, like, think about the pomposity, the disgustingness of what the fuck he's even saying here. Oh, so the multi-year AEW deal factoring in their international rights will make them more money than WWE did in 2013? Like, what kind of fucking goofy nitpick is that even to begin with? That's like that's just, goddamn, man. He's just trying to fuel dumb fuck redact bot talking points. My guys, that's what he's doing. He's just giving them little dumb fucking talking points that they can say on X to make them feel okay and sleep at night. It just doesn't matter. Oh, but it is a factoid. So how could you argue it is like a fact? Who gives a fuck? That's like such a weird, obscure thing, dude. Okay. The entirety of WWE's 13 years combined. Okay, maybe. I do not believe that, but maybe, and that would be a good one. That's one where it's like, okay, if this one TV deal makes them more profitable than all of WCW's 13 years. But Dave's lying. He's making this shit up. Dave Meltzer is we've caught him lying multiple times on this show.
Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
We know he's lying, and he said they'd have $1 billion, and then now he's doing Steiner math saying that they're going to be. He's lying right now. Don't let him gaslight again. Don't let him lie to you again. Let him say what he's going to say, because we're going to laugh at it here and play flutes. But he's spiraling, bro. And this TV deal is just, it's not what he thought. And that's why he's got to come with all this shit. Because if they're going to have 1 billion, yeah, so he's just spinning the narrative, as it were. We have Dave Meltzer's ratings for WWE Bad Blood. Now, Michael Cole took a shot at Bad Blood, at like, this will be a 5-star classic, or whoever said it. And then Meltzer, everybody was memeing him and saying, like, because they acknowledged him, he gave it a 5 stars. But how could you not give Punk versus Drew a 5 stars? It's an instant classic, an instant rewatch. And then what Dave had the audacity to say is that he doesn't factor in storylines going into the match, because people pointed out, they're like, well, Dave, you gave this match 5 stars. You're acknowledging that the story and all of that mattered, because the moments that made people pop were like the bag full of the beads. Like, those are the moments. That's what made the match a 5-star classic to anyone with any sensibility or a brain. And Meltzer admits it and goes, nope, I don't factor in the story going in. So he admits that he just likes moves, and that just the moves are what he's rating these fucking shits on. So when he watches Britt Baker versus whoever, the moves objectively, in Dave's subjective opinion on objectivity, if you guys are following, the moves in Britt Baker versus like Serena Deeb were as good as the moves in The Rock versus Hogan, and the moves in Ospreay fucking Ricochet weren't as good as the moves in Punk Drew. But then how come every WWE match doesn't get 5 fucking stars? Because he clearly factors in. So what was it, Dave, that gave it the 5? What move was it? The toolbox over the head that gave him the 15 stitches? Like, bro, he's just talking out of his ass. He's lying. We caught you, Dave. Come on this show and defend your fucking self. I won't go hard. I'm not going to pull a fucking Conan, okay? Trust me. I'll hold your feet to the fire, but come here, Conan. Dave. We need flutes everywhere, so he knows. Dave, you need to come on and address this shit and answer for your sins, son, because I've just figured you out, bro. I got you fucking completely figured out. So what was it that made this a 5-star then? What was it? If it wasn't the story and the venue and the build and everything else. So we have the White Pool Club fighting everybody again, and Marina's just choking out dudes. And now it's a backstage brawl where they're all fighting the originals, but it's just like, dude, it's taken you this long to brawl out all these jobbers, the Dark Order and everyone. Like, fuck. Dynamite sucks, bro. But anyway, so Meltzer's a goof. He rates Nia and Bailey 1.75. Like, just hates women's wrestling. Priest versus Balor 3.25. Okay. Morgan versus Ripley 2. Cody, Roman, Solo, and Jacob 4.25. No, I don't think it was a 4.25. I think it was more like a 3 if you're rating it on Phil stars. And yeah, Morgan and Ripley was pretty good too. They botched one spot there, but yeah, Dave just doesn't know. He just puts over the bloodline shit because he can't argue the data that it's the hardest fucking story in the world right now. You know what I mean? It's going hard in the paint. And then Punk McIntyre, like, he just put it over because Michael Cole put him over. But yeah, he admits it. We caught him red-handed. So 5 days ago, Meltzer said that The Rock doing the 1, 2, 3 Rock signaling triple threat at Mania. So this is what Meltzer made up, and I owned his ass on X as well. Because, okay, what The Rock was doing, it's like Dave's never seen a movie. He's never read a book. He's never seen a play. What The Rock was doing was he was looking at Cody, Jimmy, and Roman in the ring and going 1, 2, 3. Then he did the neck slice off with your heads. So what he was doing was telling Jimmy, Roman, and Cody, because there's 3 of them standing in the ring, off with your heads. But fucking Meltzer goes and he bold-faced just lies to everybody like he fucking does.
Liar!
That's what he does. And he goes, Meltzer said that Rock doing the 1, 2, 3 was Rock signaling a triple threat at Mania. Before that, he said Rock versus Cody, Roman versus Solo at Mania. Now we're to believe that Rock's schedule has drastically changed that much in the past 5 days. He's skipping Vegas. Wrestle purists report this bullshit too because they parrot the fucking nonsense because they want to get people disappointed and shitting on The Rock. And so they go, as of right now, Dwayne The Rock Johnson is not scheduled for WrestleMania 41. While that could change. Oh, so maybe it changes, then you're not wrong? You lying pricks. One source said about a potential Rock versus Reigns versus Rhodes match. And Meltzer said a source said about a potential. There's no source who said that. There's no potential of that, or there is potential for anything in the universe, but just saying, dude, there's potential aliens invade tomorrow and there is no WrestleMania. So like I could just say that. Is that news, Dave? You fucking goof. And so Dave says he already gave word that he wouldn't be able to do that match. So he's saying The Rock gave word he wouldn't be able to do that fucking match. Do you understand? And then this dirt sheet runs with it too. Wrestling News Co. And their ass, pure ass. I used to read their reviews on the show. I had to go to Bleacher Report. That tells you how ass Wrestling News Co. is. The Rock has told WWE can't do 41. So they run with it too, right? So here's all of these tweets here as well. Meltzer said, what? I swear to God, I'm not making this up. Meltzer thought Rock counting to 3 was Rock saying triple threat match at Mania, roasting him because he's an idiot. And The Rock responds as well. We're about to get to that. Didn't Meltzer think it was going to be Roman Solo? What happened? You know, Meltzer said what? Responds to that. We can't expect him. We can't be expected to hold him to what he says, which is so true. And then The Rock responds himself and says, where the fuck did he say it? He said bullshit. I cannot find it. Boo, 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 boo. Yeah, I can't find it. Sorry. But The Rock tweeted him and said, that's bullshit. Don't believe the bullshit that you hear that these fucking dirt sheets are reporting, right? So The Rock owned him. The Rock called bullshit, told him what he's saying is lies. And then, and all these dirt sheets chose to run with it. But Dave responds to it, though. Okay? So The Rock responds to like an Instagram comment saying, yeah, that's bullshit. Don't believe the bullshit you read. Do you guys remember a year ago when Meltzer said the same shit? The Rock won't be there for whatever. And then The Rock pipes in and goes, that's complete bullshit. Then he shows up at the Raw after Mania and he does that angle with Cody. And he's like, yeah, Meltzer. He called out Meltzer, does it again almost a year later, right? He calls out Meltzer again, tells him, don't believe that bullshit. Meltzer responds to The Rock, calling bullshit on his report. And Meltzer goes, I know that he was not confirmed for the show as of Thursday. He wasn't confirmed for the fucking WrestleMania that's in April as of Thursday. What? Meltzer is such a scumbag liar, you guys. I can't believe he fucking just bold-face, shark-brained, just dead behind the eyes says this to people, man. He goes, so if something changed, I'll find out. But if he wants to do it, he's doing it. It's up to him. They want to know, obviously, going into the Royal Rumble where they're going. And at that point, we'll see. Dave, you don't know what they want. How do you know, Dave? Do you know him? Do you phone him? Do you call him at home? Right? Jim Carrey? Ace Ventura? I don't know. Dave, man. Shut up, bro. Stop looking so stupid all the time. It's utterly ridiculous, man. The latest on plans for AJ Styles following his injury on SmackDown. Meltzer says, well, he started selling when landing on his feet after a quebrada and was selling an injury. The leg went out when he was doing an Ushi-Goroshi, and the referee stopped the match. He was pretty mad about the whole thing. Styles was to start a storyline where this would be his farewell tour or doing a retirement tease, and that's the idea, pending MRI results showing the severity of the injury. Well, if he's out for a year, man, you don't want to step on Cena shit either, so I don't know. Again, blessing in disguise. I hate to be that guy, but it's like Dragunov. Blessing in disguise. Mike Glass says, at Pro Wrestle Times, maybe he's not high like I thought. And Travis Peak says the way you defend AEW needs to be studied, a true ride or die. And then Meltzer goes, look, you don't, have to, actually accept, read, the comments about, the ring, accept, but there is a rule. You have to, actually read, or listen for me to care when it comes to me. If you don't waste our time. And then Mike Glass says, who's our? Do you have a split personality? It would explain a lot. The flutes. But yeah, Meltzy saying, if you don't read or listen to every word I write, then your criticism of me doesn't matter. He's a fucking delusional main character, weirdo geek, man. That's just the God's honest truth. Dave is fucking nutty, man. Awful wrestling, quote tweets Dave. And Meltzer responds to this guy who says, who cares, their product sucks. And Meltzer says, you missed all their pay-per-views this year and most of their TVs, ? So Meltzer just saying blatantly flat out, most of Dynamite's TVs shows have been good, hasn't sucked, and their pay-per-views haven't sucked. Meanwhile, their numbers are down in every fucking regard, and Meltzer we covered it on the show where he said it's obvious more people are choosing AE or NXT as of late, even though the products whatever. So Meltzer is trying to explain to us here. He's trying to have people believe that if we watch all the AEW pay-per-views and TV shows, the product actually doesn't suck in one breath, but then in another breath he wants to try and explain away that more people are choosing NXT. Why? So both are good, Dave, even though you think NXT, because Dave thinks NXT sucks, apparently, according to him. So is it better? There's no lack of consistency in the logic. And that's what you can point out a mile away. He's a snake oil salesman, Meltzer should probably retire at this point. LMAO, shout out, but why Alyssa? So the actor man Essex says, are you really not working Mania 41? Say it ain't so. And yeah, here's The Rock saying, don't believe any of that bullshit. So Dave just getting owned again. And so Dave telling people, what, you don't watch the TV show and you don't watch the PLEs, the pay-per-views? Here's him criticizing Wrestle Dream and him saying this was a 5-hour and 20-minute show. Actually, no, he doesn't criticize them. He puts them over for a 5-hour, 20-minute show to where chat, you guys were here. We were like, man, this shit's dragging on and on and on. There's no end in sight. We didn't care about 90% of the matches. It was a glorified long Dynamite. And Meltzer goes, and here's the other thing too. I pointed it out on the live show. What did Meltzer say about Bad Blood? Oh man, it was an angle show. That's what he called it. And he's like, there was too much run-ins. AEW fucking Wrestle Dynamite had the same amount of fucking run-ins, angles, bullshit, return schmozzes. He's not calling it an angle show. He's not calling it a run-in show. And but yeah, Meltzer says this was a 5-hour and 20-minute show, and there was not 1 second on the show where I think it dragged or went too long. He's lying to us. He's lying. Liar! Meltzer is lying to us. He says, I got tons of comments, and after, he's always saying he got tons of comments. I got tons of comments, and after an AEW show, it's usually pretty positive, but there's always this, but it was too long. But there was not one person who sent me anything today who said it was too long. It was an easy watch. Nothing dragged. Every match was good. I disagree, brother. Everything started to drag at one point. Delusional Dave at it again. What more can I say, chat? You guys already know. Jimmy B's been a member for 7 months. Let's fucking go. Thank you so much for being a 7-month member. Lincoln Hawk for $2 says 50% off of 35% of facts are correct 75% of the time. Yeah, 60% of the time. It works 95% of the time. Yeah, thank you for the $2. Shadow Bat Ash for $5. Canadien says anyone who believes Meltzer and takes his star rating system as objective facts deserves to be swindled out of their money. I agree. And here's the thing is that Meltzer claims his star ratings are objective facts. That's why people go, the lamest take is like, who cares about his star ratings? Why does anyone care? Because dum-dum, he says they're objective fact. He's hustling people out of money while lying to them about the hot news. That shit should be taken to task. I'm so sorry. If you're going to fucking argue to me that you don't factor in the story, but Punk versus Drew was a 5-star match because of not the story, that you're a dum-dum. You know what I mean? I'm so sorry. I get why you love AEW so much. So Dave Meltzer talks about Jimmy Jacobs' departure. And he says nobody had anything bad to say. I was just told that aside from Tony Khan, who goes to every single show, I think Jimmy Jacobs went to more shows while he was there than anyone, because he was there every taping pretty much. I got the impression it was his choice. I don't think he was fired or anything. My impression was very strong that he left and it was travel burnout, perhaps. It's nothing big or anything, but he did make it clear that he did not do nearly as much writing of the shows as people think he did. So everyone blaming Jimmy Jacobs. He was the writer. He's Tony's right-hand man. He wrote this. He came up with this. He didn't want to do this. And then Meltzer's going, he wanted people to know he didn't write nearly as much of the show as people thought. He worked very closely with Tony Khan as far as taking notes, and he would suggest ideas, but he was not as much laying out creative things as other people there. There was the idea that he was like the number 2 guy in creative, and he was technically not in creative. He was an assistant to Tony, but he did suggest ideas in creative when he would talk to Tony. And apparently Will Washington, because there's no long-term creative, he took over that role for Jimmy Jacobs. Right? That's what happened. So Ed Brown has been a member for 6 months. It's so crazy how long I've been doing this. We're on episode 60, guys. Right? And we have people who've been fucking members for 6 months. Crazy. But yeah, shout out Jimmy Jacobs and his future endeavors. You know what I mean? So here is an Alfred Konuwa video on Dave Meltzer. After recording this clip, Alfred says, I saved it as Meltzer wrong, and my MacBook said, this title already exists. Would you like to replace it? So I changed it to Meltzer wrong again, and it said, this title already exists. So funny, dude. I feel that.
Dave Meltzer did it again. The fraud journalist got another story wrong. He's broken his own record for most fucked up stories in a calendar year, and it's still over 2 months to go. In the Wrestling Observer tabloid, Midlife Meltzer wrote that The Rock would not be competing at WrestleMania 41 due to his schedule and inability to get into wrestling shape. The Rock pulled up on IG and called that story bullshit. For those keeping score at home, that is the 4th story Meltzer's gotten wrong this year about the Anoa'i family alone. If Glaze Meltzer is a fair and balanced journalist he wants you to think he is, he's not. He's got to add himself as a nominee for most disgusting
Glaze Meltzer
promotional tactic for increasing the price of the Wrestling Observer tabloid and proceeding to screw up more stories than a preschool teacher on LSD. An extremely inaccurate Dave Meltzer did.
That is amazing, and it's so accurate. And yeah, Glaze Meltzer, dude. And yeah, I didn't realize that too. That's 4 stories about the Anoa'i family, which is the size of 4 families. This year alone that he's gone wrong about that family. And Meltzer really needs to learn to just simply
Shut up, bitch.
Because yeah, just this story is complete horseshit, and he won't be at Mania 41, and that's what Chris Connors tries to tell me too. He's not in wrestling shape. He doesn't, like, shut the fuck up. He is. Okay, that's such silly shit. That's what everyone said last year, and look what happened last year, Mania. Like technically this year, but you guys, we're talking WWE calendar. It ends at Mania, right? So that's the end of WWE years. Okay. But yeah, man, just amazing work by Alfred. And again, Dave fucking up, and he doesn't know. He never actually knows, especially when it comes to The Rock. Why would anyone tell him shit about The Rock? It's so stupid. Breaking. Dave Meltzer has a new idea for AEW. Frankly, we should all feel embarrassed to have not thought of this already. Here's Dave Meltzer claiming, I have a new great idea. I'm going to put that on the soundboard. AEW should run smaller buildings. And it's just like, Dave, you listening to PWT or what?
Fucking Mark!
I have my new idea on what they should do, and it's sort of similar to what they did with the collision thing, but not, but not go to the same market over and over and over again. I mean, if they can get it and they can get like a local, whatever it is, to like help, support them like they did in Arlington, that deal, which was a good deal for them. That's cool. But I think that the idea should.
Yeah, hopefully they can get a local whatever it is. Fuck's sakes.
This is my theory is book 2,500 seat buildings in markets. You are going to probably end up with $100,000 gates instead of like 150,000 or 180,000 gates. Now, if you're in like a New York or you're in a
Holy shit, man. Meltzer. Oh my God. I have a new idea. They should run like the 2,500 seat houses and get like $100,000 gates like they do in TNA. And that's why they're thriving right now. Dave is such a fucking wiener.
Chicago.
You mean this idea I've been saying for 2 years? You mean this idea I repeat every fucking show? And you mean this idea that you stole from Phil Marks where I was like, you know what? These shows look really good in these fucking smaller buildings. Dennis King, thank you for being a member for 3 months. You're the shit. Appreciate you. Dave Meltzer's a piece of shit. I have a new idea, Dave. How about you stop talking, dummy? Yeah.
No, that's too small. But in most of these markets, go for a 2,500 seat building. Obviously, push matches way ahead of time, push the on sale, and go in there with the idea because if it's because a lot of people wait till late now that.
And that's the thing. Tony doesn't he doesn't run house shows, so he doesn't understand the long-term booking that goes into. Okay, on TV, Undertaker's fighting Batista. In 3 months, we're gonna have JBL fighting Batista on the house shows to get them ready for their next feud or whatever. There's no thought of that. So even him going announce the matches in advance, we know because of the boys and their lawsuit that AEW, you'll be messaging them all week going, hey, do you need me? Do you need me? Do you need me? And then they need you on the weekend. They tell you Thursday night they need you for the weekend because they don't know. They don't even have production meetings.
Thing is like, why buy tickets when they come out? That's why you're getting numbers like 1,000 or 1,500 tickets because you know that the smart people and the AEW fan base is generally a smart fan base.
Oh my God. Oh, listen to that one more time. Oh my God.
1,000 or 1,500 tickets because you know that.
That's why you're getting numbers like 1,500 tickets. No, bro. You get those numbers because no one's going to the fucking shows. There's 3,000 there tonight. So there was like 1,200 people who walked up to get tickets at this Dynamite. So the majority, Dave goes on to say the smart thing to do is this. And generally, AEW fans are really smart. How do you know that? Why does he gaslights these people? He's blowing the fucking complete and utter morons who listen to him, and he knows they're dumb as fuck. And we know they're dumb as fuck because Dave is dumb as fuck, and he's swindling these dumb fucks. Do you guys understand? And Meltzer, Seltzer, he's gaslighting us out and going, yeah, AEW fans are typically more intelligent and smarter, and he does this all the time because they're actually way dumber. But he's like gassing them up. Yeah, you guys are so smart, aren't you? Oh, smart people, so smart, aren't you? And then they go, yeah, we're smarter than these Fed drones. That's why they just don't understand this kind of wrestling. When it has nothing to do with understanding it, it's fucking stupid. No, we do understand it so well that there's zero nuance to it. And it's not good enough in 2024 to stimulate my fucking brain. Okay? Because we have content all around us, and you have to be innovative, and you have to tell good stories, you idiots. So, no, they're actually dumber. Dave's going off some fake fucking report he read that AEW fans are smarter. And he's sitting there saying the smart thing to do is for people to walk up, and AEW fans are generally really smart, but the majority of them aren't walking up. The majority of them are buying the tickets. So Dave is so fucking dumb. This is how stupid this guy is, chat. And I point this out. Nobody points this shit out the way I point this out.
Fucking Mark!
Meltzer is like, yeah, AEW fans are really smart. They're typically all really smart. The majority of them, though, aren't doing what you're claiming the smart thing to do is, though, Dave. The majority of them are buying in advance. So you're trying to say AEW fans are really smart, but then the really smart ones are doing the thing that you say is really smart, and that's fucking getting the tickets in a walk-up. Are you guys following me? Like, he's such a fucking idiot. His logic, there is no logic. Nothing he says makes sense. He's a bullshit snake oil salesman. And this stupid, dumb Dynamite show ended with Jay White losing after Jay White just beat Hangman in a fucking match. And they're doing the same thing where Anna Jay just got beat by what's-her-face at the pay-per-view or whatever on the pre-show or last Dynamite or whatever. And now Anna Jay attacks her or whatever. And then we're going to get a rematch. And this is the same booking in every story. Oh, Hangman and Jay White fight for no reason. Then Hangman gets involved and then they fight again in a rematch. That's why you're getting these low ticket sales, Meltzer. Let's listen to him fucking lying, coping, and gaslighting again.
You know, that's why you're getting numbers like 1,000 or 1,500 tickets, because you know that the smart people, and the AEW fan base is generally a smart fan base, they know to wait till the end. And that's why you're getting a lot of, not in every city, but in a lot of cities, you're getting some really good buys, you know, once you start doing the 2-for-1s or 30% offs. And WWE's doing that.
Only smart people know how to use 2-for-1s and 30% off. And then he goes on to say WWE is doing that too. And the AEW fans are typically smart. Like he just said, they're typically really smart. And the smart thing is to do this. But the majority of people in every are not buying them last minute. And he's trying to say smart people know how to use coupons better or whatever the fuck. And then he says WWE is doing it too. So then wouldn't WWE's fans be smart too, typically? He's such a gaslighting, lying piece of shit. Okay? It's absolutely spoken like a 3% shareholder. Exactly. It's so fucking, it's dreadful, man. The end of this Dynamite with shit referee looking around overselling shit and Hangman. That's what fucking is turning. That's why you're getting these numbers, Dave. Listen to him completely lie, try and shit on the WWE fan base, make himself look stupid, make those fans look stupid, and try and explain coupons to people, and only smart people use 30% off discounts the day of.
They know to wait till the end. And that's why you're getting a lot of, not in every city, but in a lot of cities, you're getting some really good buys, you know, once you start doing the 2-for-1s or 30% offs. And WWE's doing that too. WWE's Barclays Center shows 30% off, you know, now. That's just how it is. Like when WWE's selling everything out in advance, they don't have to do it. But that's the new thing. That's what everyone does. And
who's everyone? There's only 2 promotions. Is TNA doing that?
They should just go in there, you know, with like, you know, $40 tickets, basically. So people can, you know, it's not a big $150 for seats and things like that. And go in there and make it to where, you know, you got to buy your tickets ahead because you're going to sell out, you know, right away. And all of a sudden, you know, in these 2,500 seat buildings, they're sold out the first day, the first week. All of a sudden, the perception is this is a hot product again, rather than these pictures, you know, of 13,000, 14,000 seat buildings with
fucking Dave Meltzer cracked it. He cracked the code. He's saying what the fuck I've been saying forever. And this guy has the audacity to sit here and go, you know, like what? Oh my God. Oh my God. He's saying the oldest shit ever. And now he has to say it. He's parroting everyone. He goes, my new idea, like it's his idea. That's what JD from NY does too. Not even taking shots at him, but he's like, he says this shit that's like, what do you Phil Marks now? You know? I love a good Phil rant. Yeah, for $5. Thank you, Plinian. Yeah, who doesn't? You know? I went off tonight. And yeah, I'm going off on Meltzer here. So thank you for sticking around tonight, guys. You guys are the best. Thank you for the $5. He does the math. Now you guys got people super chatting in the difference for Canada. You don't gotta do that. Oh, it's so funny. But yeah, man, Dave is so cute when he does shit like that. I wrote, I'm going to have a fucking field day with this one. That's Conan and Meltzer right there. And we'll get to that in a minute. But Meltzer said, what says, many people have said, I told you so 5 years ago. And this guy goes, Young Bucks not taking enough credit for the wealth they have created for others in wrestling by helping start AEW from 2019. Either 20 million net worth is amazing, but starting AEW changed dozens of hundreds of lives. Yeah, we know. And then Meltzer goes, the most polarizing Hall of Fame candidates. What? Many have said it was a crime they didn't get in last year. Many others probably will never vote for them almost no matter what. It's the lines of those who think AEW is a success and those who think the opposite. Right, but it is a success, like as far as it's a wrestling company that employs people, okay, but it's not a success as far as TV accolades or pay-per-view sales necessarily, or video game sales or anything like that. Record gates, the Wembley thing was like pretty much a lie that was exposed. So maybe the Wembley thing was good, but then we saw this year they did half, and it's good for the individuals. It's not good for the wrestling business in general. I will personally say that, the Harvard Crimson. So Trump also builds credibility with his supporters by confidently throwing around phrases such as many people have said this or everyone knows that. So yeah, that's what fucking Meltzer does. He's always like a source. People tell me whatever. So he's just basically showing what you're doing is Trumpian. Connecting Meltzer to old fucking Trumpazoid there. Okay, so here's Meltzer responding to being called an AEW shill, and this was on the Conan show. This is a long ass video, so we're not gonna. It's like 30 minutes long. I was going to EFAP the whole thing with you guys, maybe on Patreon, because it's like 30 minutes. I don't know where the fuck I can do this. And I don't want to do the whole 30-minute thing on YouTube because, I don't know, it's a whole lot of whatever. But let's play a clip from this, and then we're going to play a clip of Conan and Disco arguing about this interview.
BetOnline is the world's most trusted.
Or maybe the person that told you misinformed you and you don't use them at a source anymore.
I mean, that stuff happens all the time, but I mean, as far as anything, nothing specific, pops into my mind. I mean, there definitely been situations where there were a couple situations where, somebody pranked me, if that's the right word, and everything.
And then I reported fake news, and it was just a prank. But
eventually, I found out about it. But yeah, it happened. I'm a lot more careful about it because of that. And it was a good learning experience.
Right. Well, I always think, bro, with the amount of information that you put out there and write and cover, and it's hard to fact check everything. You have
to. Then don't say it, Conan. See, this is why people are mad at fucking Conan. Then Conan, don't say it. That's what you should be telling Dave. Dave, if you can't fact check everything you say and you write 5,000 words, write 2,000 words that you fucking fact checked and say what you know. Fuck.
In a way, trust your source, right? And you obviously get credible sources that over the years of giving you good information.
What?
Huh?
I mean, like when it comes to just an example with WWE or AEW for that matter, right. If there's pretty much anything of any significance, I mean, I'm immediately checking with multiple people in both companies,
right,
for all that stuff. And I mean, things happen and whatever all the time.
Right.
Matches are scheduled for. Like a match will be scheduled and then they'll maybe add.
So he goes like, mostly everything WWE and AEW is, I know everything about it. And it's like, then why were you wrong about the Rock stuff? Why do you never know anything about any of this stuff? Why are you wrong all the time then? That's what I don't understand.
Third person to the match. I mean, it's like, you probably do that every week. You know what I mean? Where you have, this is my card, and then all of a sudden something happens, somebody gets hurt, or you have an idea and just go, hey, let's spice it up this way, or for political reasons, got to do it this way, whatever, So
and so you were wrong on the nut because This is what I mean. So he's like, and sure, on the night of the show. So you can be wrong up until when The Rock shows up. And then when he shows up, well, they just made the change last minute. That's what Fightful tried to do with the CM Punk thing. No, it was Punk was signed right then and there. Yeah, sure. He signed when he pulled up to the building, but they knew for months. They were teasing him on TV. They were hiding his shit in the background of graphics, promoting their shows. They had all new graphics made. The band Living Color fucking redid the song again so that they own the rights to it, right? They did that twice now, once for Guitar Hero and now again for Punk. And the whole thing was planned. This didn't just come together. It was like, okay, so they did the same. He teased it. What happened too, this is how far back, and we covered it on the show, at CFFC, Punk months before, like right after he was fired and like appeared again doing commentary, when War Pigs, the theme for Survivor Series, was playing during the in between fights where Punk is a commentator and Punk was on the mic talking about their teasing and doing WWE jokes and stuff. And then he returned at Survivor Series where War Pigs was the fucking theme. And he was there. Like, this was months in the making. All the dirt sheets tried to tell you it wasn't happening. And then they had the inside scoop the night of. It just came together. They had CM Punk graphics made up, and Living Color fucking redid their whole song and uploaded it to Spotify and dropped it. And they had it loaded up. And it's licensed for the new video game in 2K25. They just whipped Punk in the DLC with his theme that Living Color gave them the right. So they worked out a whole new deal and all that. That just happened on the night. It's, man, these people lie and lie through their fucking teeth.
The easiest thing, bro, it's so easy for everybody to play armchair booker. I would have done it this way. I would have done it that way, and there's no promotion that gets grades across the board. Like, how would I put this? Where everybody likes everything, right? Everybody's like, well, if you don't do it my way, fans, it's not good.
That's literally what Meltzer does. That's literally what Dave Meltzer and the audience and the people he's cultivated do. We don't do that. I fantasy mark book the bloodline shit, and when it doesn't happen the way I plan it out, you guys hear it on the show all the time. I go, awesome, because I was shocked and I didn't expect that to happen. Hey, this is what I would do, but I just trust WWE right now. They're cooking. That's what I always tell you guys. We're not fucking mad. That's what Meltzer and these goofs do.
There's a million ways you can do it. I mean, one of the things that I've noticed, just like I'll sometimes, whatever promotion, I'll sit and go, I would do it this way. Okay. But that doesn't mean that if you don't do it this way, it's wrong. Right. Because I could come up with like 5 different ways as you could for almost anything. And sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't, and nobody's spot on. I mean, it isn't like Terry Funk, who was an absolute genius at this business, right? It's not like
Terry. You know what Terry said one time that was.
Okay, so fuck what they're talking about. We're gonna share this one next. So here is and betonline.ag sponsor me. I'll do fucking ad reads. What do you guys? Come on. So here's Disco. Like, he can't even get that question out. Okay. What I need you guys to do is reach out to Disco Inferno and tweet at him all the time and say, please come on PWT. Please come on PWT. That's the only way I know. Like, I've dug around. The only way we're going to get his attention is if you all speak up on Twitter and shit and go and like write to them or cut like, hey, will you go on PWT? And I want to get Disco to come on here and roast Meltzer with me. I think it would be amazing. But Disco can't even get one fucking word out, which is ironic we're saying that about him because he never lets people get a word out. But he can't get one goddamn word out with Conan, who just loses his shit and melts down here. And this isn't from the live stream. This is from their next stream. But this is a Daddy Magic taste of his meltdown for like 2 hours from that other stream that Husey was on and shit. So, and shout out Husey, by the way. But yeah, let's listen to this. And yeah.
This one in the Patreon mailbag this week. Hey, Joe, you gotta be queued up for this and ready for this. Hey, K100 crew, Tad from H-Town. Subject is Meltzer. Thanks for a great show every week. My question is about Dave Meltzer. I listened to the entire interview, Not a fan of David's opinions, but it's great to just hear someone who knows so much about the business and the history. Overall, after hearing the interview, I want to know, why do all of you truly think he wouldn't come on with Disco being there? Disco would have been just as respectful. All right, I heard.
Yeah, this pussy snaky eyes hip hop in the chat. He's a complete trash music artist that just listens to every single video and clip I make and then just comes in and hates. And he says, post the 500 it costs to book Glenn. Okay, do you know him? Is he your friend? Link it up. Like, what the fuck? That's what I'm saying. We don't know. That's the problem. And here's the thing. Snaky eyes hip hop, because I know you listen to everything, right? So you know Hughesy's been on the show, right? Okay, you know Hughesy works on K100, right? Okay. So I know better than you. Just trust me on that. Fucking idiot. For shame. Everyone shame Snaky Eyes in the chat.
The interview code. The parts I heard were kind of a love fest between you and Dave. And I also I want to talk about that we should have had. That's the song we should play for the human house. So when it came time to ask my
let me
question,
cut you off right here.
He just cuts him off right then. Disco doesn't even get a chance to say it, and then Feeney's like, "Oh, here we go."
No, let me cut you off. Fuck all that. No. Fuck all that.
Okay.
I'm gonna
Feeney's
say
always
this.
so chill.
I've said it a million times, and I know you're saying it to rile me up because you know he's my boy. So what did you
see, guys? Racialists. They're always racialists. The AEW freakazoids who like come and say they're always racialist, right? So I'm an Eskimo fuck and never taken a bump. Like this guy thinks he like worked in a backyard wrestling fed, and I have. And I trained real martial arts my whole life. I played sports my whole life, bro. Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, this guy thinks he's someone special. So let him know. Leave him in the chat. Don't even time him out. Just let him know. Okay. But anyway,
you want me to do to bring him on here and
he's melting down like Conan.
insult him and offend him so he never fucking comes on again? Is that what you fucking wanted? I think I asked him a couple tough questions. I asked the two questions you wanted.
No,
all right?
You did not answer.
I wouldn't have called it a love fest, though.
Ask my question.
I don't need you to be on my
Well,
side.
of course you're on his side because this was a concerted.
Feeney, it was a love fest. Come on, because Conan wasn't giving him, like, not pushing back on anything. But I do get it from Conan's perspective. He's like old. He's like, why do I want to argue with Meltzer? You know, I've been reading his thing. We've been friends. Let's just have him on the show and hear what he has to say and just give answers. And then we get to EFAP it and go, oh, look, Meltzer's a lying putz. It's not on Conan to call him out, but like Disco wasn't on the show. Disco bowed out. Otherwise, Meltzer wouldn't have came on. Like, if you can't handle Disco's questions for you, you know, so it's pretty silly, but I don't. Also, Disco is like trying to hold Conan's feet to the fire. He should have popped up. If I was them, I'd have just given Disco the link or something. But yeah, it's just Conan gave him a softball interview. You can't expect Conan to be like the arbiter of the IWC and I'm going to ask all the Mark questions. And there were a lot of people like trashing Meltzer in the super chats too. So I get why you don't want to just read every super chat as him being trashed too. Because that isn't a good look. Like, listen, if he was here, I'd read whatever you guys super chatted in, right? That's part of the show. The thing is, like, you can trash me, fucking super chat it in, you know? I'll read it and I'll put it on the screen. I'll respond to it. The thing is like, I get why Conan, he's older. He doesn't want to deal with this shit. However, at the same time, like, it's K100. So the whole idea of the show is nobody's got the takes like us. We talk about sports, politics, the hot news, all that shit. And they're like, we're keeping it 100 about everything. But it's like, man, then you got to hold his feet to the fire in that sense. You know what I mean? Or don't. But yeah, let's listen to what Disco has to say.
Good effort to minimize my question. I thought it was actually a premeditated. Absolutely. I asked a question.
God, what
okay?
a fucking
Let me finish.
Off.
Can I talk here? I asked a question.
Really? Is that what you're telling me now? Let me finish. Can I talk now when you always fucking interrupt me? And now you get mad. You got a lot of balls, Disco, but go ahead.
Okay. You asked my question. Okay. Joe, immediately when the question, at the very last syllable with you said the question, Joe goes, that's Disco's question. Conan obviously knew it was my question. He wanted to ask it, not to say it was Disco's question. Joe,
Yeah,
you interrupted him. Dave didn't even answer the question.
Yeah.
And then you guys just went along. Okay, that's just want to get that on the record.
I was mistaken. I was not aware that Conan intentionally was hiding that it was your question, and I fucked up. Yes, that is correct. If that
so you
was a
guys
fuck up,
fumbled.
yeah.
You guys fumbled. Okay, so let's agree that you guys fumbled my question.
So Feeney taking accountability though, but he's just put it on Conan too. Yeah, he was hiding your question, bro. Oh, that's funny.
I didn't fumble shit.
No, Joe fumbled the question, but Dave didn't even answer it. Was the thing?
Right, that's not my fault. So why are you going
you
off
just
on
said
me?
you didn't answer. Why would you say that wasn't the question?
Because he did. Yeah, dude, Disco's calling him out here. This is hilarious.
That was a question, wasn't it? The one
Like, here's the problem: is that Conan's gonna forever be trolled. We even had people that night in the live stream saying, "I'm not watching this shit again." And then there's people who came in our chat too and is like, "I quit K100." I've seen people tweet it out. Now I haven't gone so far as that, but yeah, he's got to avoid the meltdown, or like people are just gonna use this Dave thing to trigger him all the time now. And like, it's unfortunate, but it's what happens, You can't sell the fucking marks, This snaky eyes goof is in here. We don't sell them,
Anybody that hears it will hear it. So whatever. But I don't care.
Yeah, a listener pointed that out to me. They're like, you stepped on Conan there. I don't think Conan wanted him to know that it was Disco's question. And
correct.
No, that's not true.
Oh, so
I'm just.
It doesn't matter. Because a lot of people were very critical of the interview between you and Dave. So
good, bro. I don't fucking care. I asked him questions. I asked him the two questions you wanted, and what was the other one that I asked him? Oh, I asked him about the thigh slapping.
No,
right?
you didn't know. I said like,
the thigh slapping. Like, that's the most fucking, who gives a shit? You ain't hype for $5 says, I have 3 kids. Here's some funds for a diaper. It helped my wife and I out. Enjoy them while they're young because they grow really fast. Congrats again, dude. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Yeah, diaper fun, diaper cast. Here we go. Thank you, though. I really appreciate that. But yeah, Conan is, dude. I asked him about the thigh slapping, bro. If you're 70, you care about. And shout out anyone listening who's old, but you know what I mean. Like, that's such a non-topic now. Everyone does that shit. It's the oldest conversation. Thigh slapping. Do you defend it, Meltzer? Like, come on, man.
I said, but I think it was a concerted, premeditated effort to make sure my question didn't get asked properly. So, and that's my story.
Why would I do that? Okay, well, let me ask you a question. What would be
because that's my story. And I'm sticking. Because that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Right.
Because Conan didn't want to offend Meltzer.
There's, bro, as much trouble as I've been in, as many times as I've been fired, as many times as I've been suspended, as many fights as I've had on this fucking show, for you to try to paint me as some soy boy that's afraid of anybody is fucking ridiculous.
No, but like, honestly,
my whole life has just been one rebellious episode after another, whether it's been in the military, in wrestling, in school. I'm just that type of guy that goes against the grain. I mean,
you heard.
Did you want me to just?
No.
Want me to just bring him in? Yeah.
No. However, okay, on this show we have discussed.
Right.
You asked Dave why he wouldn't have me on the why he wouldn't be on when I was, and you heard his answer.
He answered it. Yeah.
Correct. My thing is like, Dave,
right.
Why didn't you say because you've said to me, oh, come on. I mean, that you really think that's a legitimate reason to like
Bro,
not want to do?
How did I preface it? Wait, how did I preface it? It's very weird to me, Dave, that you're on Twitter all the day fighting with these other fucking guys, answering them.
Yes. Why can't you ask him that? That's the fucking question. Dude, you're arguing with all these faceless, no-name dumb fucks. You're shilling for AEW constantly. Like, what's going on with that? Are you bought into the company or no? Like, why do you say they will for sure be profitable? How would you know that? Okay. Why were you wrong about 4 stories about just one family, the Anuai family, this year alone in the calendar 2024 year? But somehow these people will be profitable, and you're arguing with these marks and telling people if they don't read every word you ever write, you don't care about their opinions. I would ask that and be like, don't you think the perception of that would be off or something? I don't know. He would just go, well, people could think what they think, but I think the very intelligent AEW Tony Khan. That's all he'd do. Anyways, it's not even worth it. When I super chatted to the episode with Meltzer, I was like, why don't you understand how YouTube TV works? Because I just wanted to hear him go off about that. That to me is funnier than like, I do get Conan's side of it, but he's just going too hard on the listeners and everything. It's funny.
Right? You've been on the show. You've never been hijacked. You've never been ambushed. You've never been disrespected. What more do I need to fucking say to have you happy?
Not the point. When he answered
that was
the
his
question,
fucking lame answer that he gave.
when he gave the lame answer, you should come on. Like, you wouldn't want to come on and just debate that with him respectfully? Like, you didn't follow up with anything. You just asked a question. That was it. He answers like, okay, let's move on. That's it.
Because, bro, you already know that no matter what. But let me tell you why. I think the reason is because much like anybody whether it's, and I'm not even going to say names because later on they think they'll take it personally. But when somebody thinks they're right, no matter what, there's no talking any sense into them. How long have I been trying to get him? Bro, I've talked to him privately and said, what the fuck, dude? Really, dude? Really? And
that's fair. Yeah, everybody wants the curtain pulled back. Everyone's a sicko. And yeah, he is right, dude. When some people are stuck in their fucking way, you can never convince them otherwise. Like, no matter what you say, what type of evidence, it's like cognitive dissonance. Your mind's just made up. You can't escape your little fucking bubble, and you can't be objective about things. Dave just can't do that. He's convinced himself, and he's old, so he's just trapped in his fucking ways with it. Same with Conan in many ways too. But yeah, Conan, man, I hope he just stops going at the chat and coping. Yeah, he's coping over this Meltzer because he's like, how long I tried to get him on the show, and like Disco had to sit out. So that told you right there it was going to be a softball interview or whatever, which is fine. I mean, those can exist, but I just think when it comes to Meltzer, like, you want to hear him say his same old shit, you just go watch his channel. He'll tell you everything he told you in the Conan interview, right? Like, nothing came of that where we were like, God damn, And then the only thing that came out of that interview was, El Hijo del Vikingo's not linked to AEW. And then people were like, maybe he'll be in NXT. And then Conan, the chat was saying that to him. Like, oh man, the prospect of being in NXT, of El Hijo in NXT would be awesome. And then he's so mad at the chat, he's like, nah, well, fuck you. He's not going to NXT. He's not doing that either. Like, he just shut down everything, man. So it just left you going, okay, the only thing we can take away from this, there's no new information other than Conan's hilarious when he melts down at the chat, And I don't know, that the long-term booking, let's call it, of that might not be the wisest.
That's his stance. And I feel that this is what I think, because the guy goes, why do you think Dave, what was the question? Why do you think Dave really doesn't want to go on the show?
Overall, after hearing the interview, I want to know, why do all of you truly think he wouldn't come on with Disco being there? Disco would have been just as respectful. Why do you truly think he would? Like, you heard his answer. Why do you truly?
Right.
But honestly,
this is what I think.
Let's say that answer is disingenuous. But what do you think the reason? Go ahead.
Right. This is what I think. Supposition. Nobody knows what the motherfucker's thinking. I almost feel that there's like a in between that world in him and who else would be in his like orbit that doesn't want to like
Sean Ross Sapp,
Tony Khan,
like those
Sapp,
type of
Tony
guys.
Khan, Kenny Omega. You said like even said Kenny Omega didn't want to come.
Those type of guys. They decided, let's none of us give any oxygen to Disco, Russo, Bischoff. I don't know how I'm not in that group, but somehow I got like except with Tony.
You got to pass, yeah.
Because you will do softball interviews like this.
Right, I got to pass, but you guys, and I also think that you've actually come out and buried him. So has fucking
when he's marginalized me,
right?
Like, because when he actually tries to minimize my input.
Right.
He doesn't listen to me. Okay, he doesn't have any respect for anything I say, which is ridiculous. And the thing is that in what do you want to call it? The bubble of professional wrestling right now, okay, of everything that's going on. There's two very clear things going on. Okay, WWE is doing great business. AEW is not. All right.
Right.
And when we review the shows, we watch these shows. We usually give glowing reviews to the WWE mostly. There's still stuff we bury.
Yeah, who doesn't? They're cooking. And me too. I was shitting on NXT a little bit. It's my favorite show, but it is what it is, man.
On the show. But we get hate from the AEW people because we kind of bury their show. But you know, it's kind of obvious one show's doing very well and the other show's not doing well. So the criticism would be applied to the show. Obviously, it's not doing well, and the praise given to the show. Like they, you know, so a lot of like you think this deal, any type of like.
Okay, whatever. They go on to continue their thing. Yeah, that was that segment there. It was captivating watching an hour and a half of Conan being pissed at chat and the other two wanting to end the show. Yeah, he tried to end it like 700 times. We were DMing about it, man. It's pretty fucking funny. I felt bad for him, but he did get a kick out of it, you know. But yeah, Conan just he should have focused more on the positive shit. You know what I mean? Because there was a lot of people like putting them over and stuff, and then they would try and put something positive on the screen, and he would just bury it and dismiss it right away. Thank you for the $5, and yeah, maybe we'll EFAP that on Patreon or something. But guys, we did a long ass show, 347. Round of applause for the chat. We smashed the likes and all of that. I love you all very much. Thank you for being here. Yeah, guys, birthday bash stream on Saturday. It should be amazing unless something comes up, to which you will all be notified. And otherwise, yeah, have a good time. Take care of each other. Drink lots of water. What other good things can I say? Love each other. Hug each other. Tony Khan hugs to everybody. Kisses to everybody. And yeah, thank you all for being here. YouTube.com/@ProWrestleTimes. I dropped a pod with Duke Loves Wrestling. He goes in on like SRS and the whole SGW Uganda scam or whatever the fuck's going on over there. My mind was blown yet again. And then yeah, we talk about, I got some really cool guests coming on in the near future, like really cool, man. And I can't wait to get all that for you guys. But for time being, I got to focus on a little bit of this and that. I'll be popping on live like all the time. Get used to hearing this voice. Haters too. Someone gift that salty ass hater in the chat a fucking membership, because we know he's here listening. And I love you guys. Until next time, I'll see you in the Upside Down.
I look and see it's not just me.
Jack, why do you insist on doing this dumb internet shit on TV?
I look and see it's not just me.
This place is a fucking joke, man. You're a clown. I quit.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild.
No. It doesn't make logical sense, but it makes.
Well, yes, of course.
But it makes wrestling booking sense. Of course, this makes no sense. Of course, okay, it makes no sense. However, in pro wrestling booking, which often makes no sense, you would do that. It's about making money. It's not about anything else. Wrestling's always been about making money first and foremost. That's it.
Yes, I look and see it's not just me.
Last weekend was the greatest weekend in AEW history. This is the greatest week.
I look and see it's not just me.
Security, my safety, my life was in danger at a wrestling show.
So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. So many of us have stood where we stand. We are the young, so raise your hand. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. They call us problem child. We spend our lives on trial. We walk an endless mile. We are the youth gone wild. We stand and we won't fall. We're one and one for all. The writing's on the wall. We are the youth gone wild. wow. Let me get wow. Yeah.
If you're familiar with how we do things often here on these Wednesdays, it's a lot like one of my favorite movies, Time Cop.
What? Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, I'm coming for you, boy. And I'm coming hard.
Thank you.
I don't care. You come in my face, I'm going to fight you.
Brutus, take a look at this. Brutus, this is incredible. What a package.
Well, you're not going to bust a nut anytime we're in the ring.
After I beat you and satisfy all the Hulkamaniacs, I'm going to get off by cranking your knob just a little beyond the breaking point.
But I want it too, and I
ahead of time because I'm going to stretch his ass like it's never been stretched before.
And now the Warrior's down on his knees. But this one, a long way from being over, buddies. Absolutely. This is just warm-up right here.
Chris Kelly, I tell you what. When I get my hands on you, I'm going to eat your ass like a pot of collard greens, baby.